In the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 million.
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Big Rays, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Rays has the gear you need, tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. Check out their new exclusive line of Auralic waders. Big Rays for all your outdoor gear and rugged work attire. BigRays.com.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include weekly lawn care, custom landscaping, fertilizing, weed control, turf repair, and more. Schedule your free estimate at lawnproak.com.
Alaska's OG cider company, Double Shovel, crafting gluten-free colonial-style ciders founded as a healthier, non-inflammatory brew option. Drop by their Pop and Tap room in Anchorage off of 58th and Arctic or visit the second location in Kodiak. Double Shovel, award-winning ciders.
Alaska Mining and Diving Supply, located in Anchorage, is our go-to for powder sleds and utility rigs. Whether you're in the mountains with the Flat Bill Bros, running trap lines, or hauling freight, they have the selection to get you dialed from peaks to the valleys. Find them on Commercial Drive or akmining.com.
Buy that?
Yes, I did.
You're okay. Well, you can't return that, right?
Non-refundable trip to Costa Rica
Like
coming up.
That guy comes over with that red glowing stick. Like
I was
here.
like slowly slid down, like I didn't do it.
They're looking at me. I'm like, no, she bid, not me.
When was that though?
2 years ago.
I was going to say, didn't you have to
21.
wait like over a year? Like it was kind of off your radar, and then you're like, oh God.
Off
that's
my radar,
this
looked at the
year,
fine
like
print.
months from now.
Trip expires, and James like, oh, I'll just buy it from you. I'm like, non-transferable, bro.
Oh no.
Oh, really?
How did
Yeah.
that work financially at the night of the show?
We split it between two cards,
Okay.
and then my name was on it.
So you just cut a deposit for the price, or you actually have to buy the whole thing right on the spot?
$9,500, whole thing. Right
Oh
then.
shit!
Oh.
Let me
Good
get
to know.
let me get some miles.
3 people, 4
4.
people. Yeah, that's reasonable.
It really wasn't bad, and then I saw.
But they weren't secured at the time.
Yeah, questionable.
Yep. And then the same trip, I
Panic.
think at SCI, the Anchorage event, the following year, last year, went for like $1,100 more. So I was like, nice.
Oh, okay.
I didn't feel as bad.
So you
It was
feel
the
like
same
you got a
exact
better
trip.
deal.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I won't be doing that again.
You've done it. Yeah.
Unless, however, it's a really good deal and it's an awesome trip, then I might be able to be coerced.
Well, one of these times I'd like to seriously go to that. And like there's 4 people saying, hey,
Let's book this trip.
We got this hunt, this fishing trip.
Yep.
We're down to spend $15,000, $3,000 per person, and we're gonna commit.
Man,
So-
at some of these bigger shows,
Because you kind of impulsed that one.
it did a little bit,
Yeah.
But at some of these bigger shows, like the SCI that was in Nashville, like there's all these banquet rooms, and there's multiple auctions that go on all the time for amazing hunts,
And fishing trips.
and fishing trips and just everything. And if you're like somebody that's looking to go get a trip to do something, like that's the time to do it, because I stood in one of the rooms for a little bit and watched the auction go down, and like great deals on like, you know,
I figure some of them are pretty budget friendly when it comes to fishing trips.
yeah.
Hunting trips, guided, that gets up there, right?
Yeah.
And depending on your species.
Sure.
But fishing,
Yeah.
to me, seems like something that's a little bit more,
Well, they don't put them out like like they should have them on the site. Like we're going to be offering
Ahead
these
of time.
trips,
They
so then
do.
you can have like your group and be like, all right, we're going to go bid for this.
They
and we're gonna
do.
Go bid for they do
I
like
wanna
pre.
s- I
Like you
wanna
look it
say
up now.
Like the week in advance, maybe.
It's more
Oh.
the convention that you're auctioning off at does all the marketing for you. So they're months in advance putting it out in catalogs and on their websites and things like that.
Oh,
So it kind of
okay.
takes the pressure off. I mean, you as the outfitter you could be like, hey, and some of them do. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to be in this auction, this thing, but you can open up most of the books before you go. And those people are actively shopping. So
Yeah.
they have like the catalogs.
Gotcha.
They're,
And then
they're
they know
coming.
already.
They're coming with
So
checks
then
in
they're
hand.
going, yeah, it's going to be like
Okay.
this time, this block of things are going to be auctioned off, and they go to it.
Yeah, they know ahead of time.
So
But that's a little bit bigger than Alaska's got. But these
Yeah.
guys out of state, yeah. We saw people in there that just knew, like, they were going to this room at this time because that's what
They
hunt
wanted.
that they wanted.
Yeah. They want
Got
that
it.
mule deer hunt or that fishing trip somewhere or whatever.
But just an idea.
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about that trip? I don't think we did.
Costa Rica?
Yeah,
I think so.
did we?
We covered it a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
it was kind of brief and
Yeah, it was a short trip. It was fun.
5 days, 3 days.
5 days, and like 2 days of deep sea fishing were included. So we brought our stuff and did some DIY. It was a little bit trickier. I think that we were maybe led to believe that there was going to be a lot of available and accessible DIY stuff. That was not the case, but that's what you get when you DIY. You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
DIY
We
doesn't mean
paid some
guided.
people to drive us to some places, and tried a few things. And it's like there's a difference in like DIY fishing in a place like Costa Rica versus like somewhere frigid. I mean, we could do anything there. It's like you're walking the beach in a freaking swimsuit fishing. It's like, oh, boo-hoo, I'm not catching anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bummer.
You know,
Set the tan.
Grab the sunblock.
just throw my rod down and just lay down in
Yeah.
the freaking sand.
Well, in
and
hindsight,
sure.
though, could you do it on your own without like bidding and all that shit for cheaper? Or about the same?
I'm not sure. I think it would probably be more. But it was a good package deal, I think, for what we paid for and just the ease of everything already set
Probably a
up.
lot better opportunity to catch fish versus just stumbling in there and being like, asking
Oh,
the
yeah.
local bait shop.
Yeah, and there isn't really any of that down there.
Okay.
But like the deep sea stuff, awesome. Caught roosters, caught sailfish,
That
caught
looked dope.
snappers, and it was
Weather looked awesome.
yeah. I've never been anywhere hotter. Like you step outside and
That's
you
a
just start
different kinda
sweating,
heat, right?
and like
Yeah.
here, poof.
Yeah, my wife said that's
What, your hair?
Yeah,
The Philippines.
I had a fro
It
for a
felt like
whole
the
week. It
closest
was
to the
awesome.
Philippines, that it was just like sauna hot.
Even locals were like, I mean, we went out to some like local spots and we're eating, and these people are just like sweating.
was it
their
early
ass.
summer, like May?
It was
April,
May.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
And
so
it was
as
hot
fuck.
for them. They were saying
Yeah.
it was hot season for them, and like we're just these freaking white girl Americans over here that are just like beat red in the face, and
Oh, man.
it was fun though.
Well, how was the Arizona trip you just went on?
Arizona was also fun. Did get some snow down there. So Sedona is close to like 5,000 feet elevation. So a few winter storm warnings came through, and it does snow.
The whole city shut down?
Kind of. Like the highways, like people freak and they don't really know what to do. And but it's usually like sunny and melted by the next day. But it was cool. First time hunting out of state. First time on an archery hunt. So I kind of got a little tip on like a unit or somewhere in my unit to go check out. So it was like an hour away from my dad's place. And it was, easy walking.
Are you taking like a side-by-side or something, or just truck and then walk?
Yep, truck and walk.
Nice.
Saw a few other people kind of hunting in the unit the same, but not many.
You're going for...
It was javelina.
Oh, and you didn't see any?
No. I saw
That's
one.
crazy. You see those fucking things everywhere.
Right. And that's generally how it goes.
Except when you're hunting them.
Right. I saw one, roadkill about a mile away from my dad's house.
Yeah,
so I started driving. I was like, Cole. I was like, Cole, that's what they look like.
Yeah.
This it was laying on the road.
Draw on it.
Dead. I know. My mom was like devastated that I was going to go shoot a javelina. So she like tried to sabotage me by like having everybody pour like coyote pee all over all my stuff. Not like on it, but like around the truck. And I'm like, well, you're so wild. So lots of mule deer.
I got those
cool.
images that you sent me. I went ahead and
Thank you.
sent them
There
over.
we go.
So I found that on my very last day. I was
Muley
out
sheds?
and
Matching one?
yeah, so I like
that's cool.
rolled up on one and I was
That's
like,
a nice
oh
one,
my
too.
God, this is awesome. And then it didn't even register that like, oh, maybe look around and there's going to be a set. And then
After
like,
you yelled?
sure as shit, like 5 feet away. Yeah, I found the other one and I was like, oh my God, this is a great consolidation prize. Girls love their sheds, I feel like,
They
Well,
look
it's
like
good.
just nicely bleached too.
Yeah, they're
super clean.
And I was like shocked that they were still there because there's kind of a Jeep trail that I was cutting through. I probably that day did like 5 or 6 miles and I started on the trail and like cut back, not on a trail by any means, but it was really easy walking and but plenty of traffic on the Jeep
Was it
trail.
just the one photo?
Do you think down there the locals are
what
like,
came.
those things
Oh, I
are
thought
too
I had
tiny,
sent
I'm going to
more.
leave them
Yeah,
here?
I
For like
don't-
that one girl that's going to show up out of state that's going to be like, these are coming
Stoked.
home with me.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Frick, I'd bring a backpack home of those. Those are awesome.
I know. So, and I didn't see really anything else, but my dad's pumped to like, cause he's building a casita on the property and like figuring out a way to incorporate them into the other house.
Cool.
To incorporate the javelinas?
No, just the shed.
Oh, gotcha.
That too, yeah.
That too. Yep.
Gotcha.
The javelina.
So,
But it was really cool, you know?
Well, backing up a little bit,
Yeah.
you drew this
stop laughing at me.
through state of Arizona.
Yeah.
This wasn't like a banquet.
Nope, drew
Purchase
it,
type
and
thing.
and
Okay.
even locals, they don't have like a open harvest, you know, for anything down at least. So in the state of Arizona, yeah, you have to anytime you want to hunt anything, you have to draw it and win it. So I got a tip put in for this, and you know they don't have like you don't get an email about like congratulations on your successful javelina draw. You know, it's like I got something in the mail from Arizona Fish and Game. I'm like, what's this? I was like, oh shit, like that's cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so then I was like, well, I guess I better start, you
Gotta
know.
resend it.
And that was like a month maybe before. So there's just so many different application periods for different states, you know. So Arizona is one that I'm trying to be better about like keeping up with. So signed up for like their Fish and Game newsletter. So it's like
Nice.
now open for elk and pronghorn. So cool. So I put in for that.
Nice.
Just,
Okay.
you know, because last time it was just Chad like, hey, let's buy these over-the-counter mule deer tags.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, okay, bought one. Oh shit, it's archery only? Okay, guess I'm gonna buy a bow. And that's exactly what happened.
Is it a point system there too, or is it just
I think you can.
It
They have
is.
like a point guard.
They do have some draws, just like our state. Because if you really want to get hot and heavy into the Western application process,
Yeah.
Eastman Hunting Journal does a oh hell, I forget what they call it. I should bring it in here and put it in the studio. It's like a supplement,
Oh,
but it's like a
nice.
supplement on steroids that breaks down every state,
Oh my gosh.
and then it tells you like X amount of points needed to draw for this,
Yeah.
and then it has like the different chip colored, blue chip, yellow chip, red chip.
It's technical.
I could be wrong on that.
So
Well, they
much.
actually go hunt recently on their like app that they do, like their
Okay.
their version of what's the other mapping Onyx? Their
Yeah.
version of they have their own thing, go hunt. But now they have it like, oh, you're looking for this animal in this state. you can go on their thing and like click it, and it'll tell you like this is what you want to sign up for. This is the areas. As out of
the amount
stater.
of points you need.
They've really like simplified it on that. I haven't really like browsed it. I just been seeing people talking about it.
I think Huntin' Full's been doing that for a while.
Okay.
also.
But they
Like-
integrate it all into their one like Go Hunt
Cool.
app or whatever.
Cool.
So
Probably much more user friendly than purchasing a book for $100.
Yeah,
But it is a
maybe.
really beautiful.
well, even just
Yeah. Book
even
with
just like
colors.
looking at the
Yeah.
ADF and
Pretty
G
dope.
book. I mean, we look at it every year, so we kind of get how it goes.
Yeah.
But you give it to some
Navigate.
out of stater or someone else, they're like, whoa, where do I even fucking start here?
Yeah.
Like, what is
And
this?
that's
on?
how I feel with every other
Unit.
state.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's complicated,
Yeah.
especially with the points. And
Yeah. Do you put in for stuff in other states?
No.
No.
Last year was the first year I hunted out of state. And I went to Hawaii, Ohio, and Washington.
Wow.
So it was like just jump into 3 different states. And all 3 were so different.
And so how, I mean, yeah, we can get into
Yeah, those
those
are very
ones
different
later.
stories. Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about it now. Like, what was-
So, yeah, you were doing, was it a whitetail?
Whitetail was Ohio, yeah, and that was crossbow. And that was basically like roll
God.
into your local sports shop down there, hole in the wall, and get a tag over the counter. It was super easy.
Cool.
old school style.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, that's
that
easy.
was super easy.
And you have a crossbow?
Well, the guy that it was one of Brett's former clients, and
Okay.
and he has his backyard. He calls it Black Death Adventures.
Ooh,
So
fun.
he's got his tree stand out back, and it's his like private land. Come hunt out here, sort of thing. And so I had never hunted whitetail before, so Brett was like, "Let's go do this. We'll run down there and shoot 1 or 2 and call
Awesome.
it good." And it was super fun. I shot one on the first night and or first.
Was
day
that your
and
first time
it was
tree
sick.
standing?
Yeah. I don't know how people do that 40 days
know.
straight and stuff. I hear horror stories.
My God,
dude,
boring.
I don't
I
think
can't
so.
sit quiet long enough.
No.
And I mean, the squirrels are on steroids, right? And everything's just way louder.
Like, squirrel.
Like the woods are loud. I'm in full panic mode. Yeah.
There's like ticks and all the other.
Yeah, that
crap
stuff freaks
can
me out. It was like
bite
70 degrees in like late November when we were there hunting. It was terrible.
Wow.
And then Ohio was having that, what do they call it? Like the blue tongue disease going on or whatever.
I haven't heard of
So
that.
there's like this gnat that like lays larvae and stuff in their ponds, and the ponds are all dirty and whatnot. And the deer go and they drink out of the ponds, and then this fly or this larva goes up into their nostrils and will like, I
Start
don't know,
breeding and stuff.
basically, yeah, and like kill them.
Gross.
But their
Jesus.
tongues will turn black, and they wipe out these like monster deer, like these awesome
What's it called
genetics.
again? Blue what?
It's called blue tongue. Yeah, I believe.
Damn.
But yeah, it's been like a huge issue, and they lost a bunch of big deer down there.
And they're dealing
So
with the
we
other
were
one, like
watching them. We were getting
CW.
updates of awesome looking deer on the trail cameras, and then we showed up and like they were just gone. And he's like, "Dude, they died like straight up." He already knew.
That
And
sucks.
so I had shot a nice 8-point, but he was like, this is the biggest deer that's come in,
Yeah.
because these other ones just died a week ago.
wow.
Is the
And then,
crossbow
yeah.
work during? Is it during bow season? Does that count?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
an archery. Yeah, I
That's
guess
archery.
that's what everybody uses down there or
Is it
during
crossbow?
this. Yeah.
Oh,
Had
It
you
was
shot one?
interesting.
Had you shot one before?
No, I rolled off the plane. It was like 9 p.m. in the dark, and they're shining flashlights on a target, like 20 feet away.
Go
and
ahead and
they're like,
practice.
Yeah.
Shoot
Good
this
luck.
thing a couple times. Yeah. Oh, you're good to go. I
How
shot it like
was
2
it?
times.
I mean,
And
you
then
just
you're
point
up
and
in
shoot.
a stand shooting at a totally different angle. So, I mean, it worked. I killed it efficiently, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, I did not feel confident. Not
Yeah.
at all. But
do you
Luckily, you had
shoulder
a-
it? Did you shoulder
Yeah.
it like a rifle?
It's like shooting
Yeah.
a
I
rifle.
never. Okay, I never.
I've never shot one.
Me
Well,
either.
it's kind of, a little bit of shoulder, but I mean, you're in a tree stand. This is my first time in a tree stand. So you're shooting right off like your
little gate.
rail or what,
Okay.
yeah. And
Your guard
So
there.
that's
Yeah.
like a rest for it.
yeah.
Kind of weird.
And then I was shooting down. So, I mean, I don't know. It all happened so fast. It was like weird stuff happening, but definitely no practice. Yeah, it was basically off the shoulder.
Oh my gosh, so cool.
And then we turned right around from that and hauled our whitetail to Washington, put it in a freezer at a buddy's house, and then we ran up the mountain for Brett's Columbia blacktail.
Yeah,
he was
I
going for
remember.
his.
Cool.
Yeah, he was going for his deer slam. So we
Did he
ran
get
up
one?
there. Yeah,
Great.
we ran up like Mount Olympus area. So we're like way up, like 6,000 feet.
I remember.
Snowy.
I think seeing some of your posts about
Yeah.
it, and I was like, Jesus,
We ran
they're
up
there.
threw the tent up, and then the next morning we woke up and we were like, there's a buck. We'll shoot that one. It was like right there, and it just went so fast, and then we were already
We're like,
heading out.
that's it?
But their rifle season for Washington, and I guess for most of the state, it's only 4 days.
Whoa.
Can you imagine?
So they just go and
Window.
clean
Yeah.
up and like everybody's out, just
so you
sounding
go
like
out
a full
and
range.
everyone's out. Yeah, I mean, there's just people everywhere.
Ooh.
So it's like, okay, I guess we'll climb to the very top of that peak, and we'll probably see the less amount of people.
Yeah.
But
That was the strategy?
worked out. That was the strategy. So we'll just beat everyone to the top.
What was the blacktail when you guys harvested that deer compared to like a Kodiak or a Sitka blacktail here? Was it very similar?
No, they're bigger.
Okay.
So he shot a fork a fork.
A
and-
young buck.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't think anyone else in Washington would have shot it, but like their bodies are way bigger.
Sure.
We're going for species, we're like meat
Yeah.
hunters. So, but the first one we saw, and he went and shot that one. And yeah, they're way bigger. We rolled up and we're like, this is the biggest fork we've ever seen, because
Yeah.
I've seen, we go
Talking
hunt
like a 100
blacktail
pound,
every deer.
100
Yeah.
pound animal.
Probably.
Yeah.
But their hair is a lot thinner, and they just have a different color, and then they have like more of a sprucey smell, I guess. They're a little different. So it's weird because you look at it and you're like, I should know you. But
Yeah.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
You're
You look
very
like our
different.
weird
Foreign
step
species.
cousin,
They're really
redhead
pretty.
step cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't belong here.
They're very pretty. Yeah. No, it was cool.
He drew that.
No, that was also just you can go down
Over
and
the
just
counter?
over the counter get it, but it's a 4-day window, so that's where
Man, that's
you're
tight.
battling with that.
That
tight
is a
window.
tight one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're probably not that easy to find. So good call on just taking the first one you could find because you pass up on
was
it.
meant to be.
and- Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you don't find one at all, right?
Yeah. Well, it's so thick down there too, and everyone hunts, the log piles or like the logging areas, and they'll sit there and they'll like come through there. But we didn't know where any of those were because we're not from there.
Sure.
We're not going to like walk around in the thick woods.
And you got 4
with
days,
elevation.
so-
Yeah.
so you
So
got
we were
all
like, we'll just
time.
go.
We'll
where
just
it's
hunt
open.
how we know how to hunt.
Yeah, exactly.
And it worked.
I'm like, we're in sheep country hunting for black-tailed deer. I used to complain about Kodiak, and now I'm like, this still feels wrong.
Yeah.
What is it with these deer? Why do we work so hard for them?
What is it
Yeah.
with you guys?
We still haven't figured that out yet.
Welcome to Alaska Wild Project episode
That's how we do it.
151.
151.
Today we have Emily and our friend Ivy O'Gwyn from the TV.
From the TV.
Please,
People
I
still
hope
watch-
that's not how I'm
From
known
the
now.
TV.
So Gwyn with two N's.
Gwyn O'Gwyn from Two Ends.
With
Crack
two
'em up.
Ends.
There you go. Thanks for coming in, Ivy.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Can we just also congratulate her on first podcast
Oh, first podcast.
ever?
First
My
one.
first ever podcast.
You know what? She was like,
Gracing the world with my voice.
she was like, she was getting invites. You want to come on my podcast? Yeah. AWP? Sure.
Sure. But it was the mayor that sealed the deal.
the mayor, yeah.
The mayor. Smooth talker,
Hey,
that guy.
they say up here in Alaska, it's who you know, man.
That's right.
You know the mayor. You know Emily. I think if one of us
was
would have
like,
reached
now
out,
it's
you probably
time.
would have been like, I don't know,
I
man.
don't know.
Freaking
about that
weirdos.
Yeah.
Well, funny story. We were supposed to have Brett on, your
Yep.
husband to be.
guy. Yep.
He was trying to come. We reached out to him to come on, and this was like when we first started, so we didn't really have a lot of pool.
First 50 or
And
so.
he was going to come on. He wanted to be like number 49
He's
for
an
the
MLS
show.
guy.
And
Yeah,
and I was
hockey
like,
guy. Would've
that
made
would have been
sense,
awesome.
man.
But we already had like someone booked for 49, and
He's
then
like, kick him off.
I know, and I was like, it was Justin Johnson. I was like, I'm not telling
Yeah.
Justin Johnson.
Like, if you want to tell JJ,
Yeah, man, like,
go
this
have at it. I just saw that video circulating again, too, of his fight.
Of his fight, yeah.
I think Bob Lester
it
posted
goes
it.
like, it gets real popular and then goes away and comes back up.
Sorry, continue.
So no offense to Brett, but we weren't telling JJ.
Well, maybe now it'll be more of an open topic because he's like, wait, you're going to go on that podcast?
Ooh,
They
the
asked
peanut butter
me to do
jelly?
that podcast a long time ago, and I never went on there. And I was like, well, I'm beating you to it. And he's really competitive, so now he's like, cool, I'll just wait and hear what you say, and then maybe I'll go on there. I'm like, whatever.
He's just
But
going to try to come one up
he's
you.
just trying. He comes off from like, tough guy sort of thing, but he's very like, he's not a storyteller. So this is even just having a camera
He's
in front
still
of
a
him. He's
grounded
gotten way
Alaskan dude.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's him being like, oh yeah, I would do this, but he would be probably a little nervous.
Well, we'd still love to have him on
yeah.
Absolutely,
if
man.
he'd come on.
yeah, he's got
Invite's
great
still open, Brett.
stories, man.
Yeah.
Open
As
invite,
you
Brett.
know,
Yeah.
he's a legend. He's
We
got
are-
good stories.
Yeah, we are at episode 151. So, I mean,
So what's the
Get
next
that
number
in
you'd
now.
want? 200?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Numbers guy?
Oh, jeez.
Numbers guy?
I don't
Number
know.
Yeah, what was
200?
his hockey number?
It has to
or
be an
what was-
even number. I know that. So,
Even number?
so maybe
Okay.
one.
That's doable.
200. We'll do
Yeah,
200.
200 is even.
That's
There you go, Brett.
200 in
When you
December.
listen to this, we're already booking you.
Wait, so we are booked through March. So
Perfect.
I get on, man.
You'll have plenty of time to.
We'll save
practice.
200 for you, Brett. That's what you want. Okay.
So, Ivy, would you consider yourself a TV personality now?
People
that
keep
like-
saying that,
Yeah.
but I just don't feel it yet. I don't know.
Okay.
It's been one season, and
Yeah?
yeah. I mean,
I think that qualifies.
I guess.
It's
I
legit.
don't know.
Yeah, maybe tell the people that don't know a little bit about
What do you do
what
on
you
TV?
what you just.
Everyone's like, she's on TV. Brett and I were casted. We're cast members on Mountain Men's new spin-off series this last season called Mountain Men Alaska. So it was their season 1, kind of feeling it out because their original show, Mountain Men, they kind of just have all these different stories and people going on from all over the country, and then wanted to focus on more Alaskans. But I think it's the direction of the show is going to go back to its original Mountain Men and not Mountain Men Alaska, so they'll merge it back. So even though this was like a new show, it's kind of just going to go back to what it was.
Yeah.
So it basically had like not the type of marketing that the production team like thought it would have and all this stuff, because they didn't want to like build it up and then be like, oh, just kidding, no more Mountain Men Alaska, it's just Mountain Men.
Yeah.
So it
Oh,
was
I
kind of this
see.
like slow slide in of these different stories. They kind of ended the original show short and then added in a bunch of new faces and just focused on Alaska. But this next season, so I don't know what it'd be, I guess season 13 is going to have us on it, and it'll be our second season, but
But it'll be
it'll go
Mountain
back
Men.
to, yep. but
Is it
it'll
going to
be
have some of
Mountain
the
Men.
old characters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it will.
So the Alaskan crew are now integrated into the.
Yeah,
I mean,
there are a lot of people that won't be on there.
Ooh,
after
didn't
this.
make the
Yeah.
cut.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're
Didn't
yeah.
produce.
Okay.
So
yeah,
all
so they'll
the,
merge it, but
all the
back
filming
in,
that
but-
you guys did, because I think like I saw you last February when it was in like the Palmer Ale House, and I think you guys were in the process of filming then. So how many, like a month, a few weeks of filming? Like what did you
Yeah.
guys do?
Last season we filmed 6 episodes, and so it was like 2 weeks at a time, like once a month. So I think we filmed from December, maybe it was January to April, and so we'd have them come out. But this year we're up to 8, and so we'll be doing more this winter with them. And we have different teams, and I think this next season's going to be more our authentic selves as we're like all trying to figure out like our stories and kind of
Yeah.
like push our boundaries, you know,
Yeah.
what we're allowed to do in the realm of drama and TV, right?
Yeah.
Because we
Oh,
don't want to
nice.
lose who we are, you know, and
Yeah.
that's a battle. And then you don't know how that's going to be edited in post either,
Yeah.
you know, and how stories happen in real life don't get portrayed.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so that was near and dear to our heart. You know, we're like, well, as much as we want to do this and it's a job, we don't want to
Yeah.
change who we are.
Yeah.
So I think this year is going to look more like us versus last season.
I've only caught 2 episodes. How many are out?
Drama.
How
They're
many
all
are
out,
now?
yeah.
They all are.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I got some catching up to do.
On the History Channel
Yep.
for people looking to find it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I watched.
Mountain Men, Alaskan History Channel.
So enjoyable experience though for you,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
overall.
Yeah.
Brett, feel the same?
Yeah. I think this season's definitely like more enjoyable so far. And we've only filmed 2 episodes already. But last year, I mean, we did a lot of fun stuff, not
Yeah.
gonna lie, but it's a lot of work too because we're super remote. And then you're bringing a production team out. So
Yeah.
you're trying to tell these stories or showcase like what we do, but you're also setting up this environment where you're like basically guiding a bunch of people the whole time.
Yeah.
And making
so is
sure
everyone at
everybody's
your at the
safe and-
cabin?
Yeah.
Like
Yep. We lodge them and feed them and
Okay, I was going to ask
equip
that.
them with snow machines.
They
and-
stay with you guys, and
Yep.
they don't bring their own like Arctic oven tent and stay in that.
No.
Okay, so they're
we
staying
house
with
'em.
you guys is in your spare cabin or whatever.
We have an addition built on. It's a pretty
Okay.
big place. Yeah,
Okay.
that Brett built when he was
In
little,
Wiseman,
but-
correct?
No,
Not Wiseman? Why did I think Wiseman?
I don't know.
I guess like
What?
the closest area you could say is like Petersville, but we're like way we're more remote. But
Oh, why did I
yeah.
think Wiseman?
I don't know.
So you're like in Denali area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We play around in there.
And so
It's a great area.
More new stuff, more of the same. You guys just like running the trap line.
It's running the trap line.
Without, giving too much away.
I know. Yeah. It'll be some hunts. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So we got some fun things coming up.
Like personal hunts, like
Yeah.
for both of you.
Yeah.
Like
Cool.
subsistence harvest type?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, that's when we do all of our hunting is in the wintertime. For ourselves, for our personal harvest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because every other opening we have is for clients, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was that, and that's probably not going to be part of the deal, like following Brett
hard.
out with clients. And
Yeah, no, not that. No. We're trying. It's funny, the network in general, they're just trying to work with our schedule. And we're like, we have like such tiny windows open because we've just really grown together, just combining what both of us do. And so trying to even just fit in a TV show, it's like just our side gig right now. We're just like, whenever we can fit you in,
So
and
what
they work really
what
well with
else?
us.
What is your main, I guess, gig right now that is occupying a lot of your time?
Well, I guess right now is the trap line, and we have clients and stuff coming out with that right now.
Cool.
And I have my women's retreat happening in like
that's
2 days. Yeah.
Oh, it's
wow.
about
I
to
pick
go
up
down?
my
In
girls
2 days?
on the 18th. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
how did
Oh,
you?
sweet.
How did you? It was whoever applied. It was whoever wanted to.
Yep.
Cool.
I have 3 slots. I keep it small. So I take 3 girls out, and I mean, they're just very unique and curated to just individual, like run a trap line, skinning, hide work, all that stuff.
Have you met them before? Do you know them previous? It's just all 3
Ooh,
complete
risky.
random strangers.
Yeah, they all book.
Where are they?
through
Where are they
Instagram.
from?
I don't know where everybody's from. I know one girl's from Nevada, and I can't remember where the other 2 are at. But last year I had a girl from Fairbanks, a girl from Kansas, and a girl from Michigan.
Cool. So what these girls, when they come to do this, what does it entail? Like, what are you running them through? I know you said the trap line and some like skinning stuff and just basic like.
Yeah, they come out and they ride snow machines, and they learn how to set traps for multiple different species. We target like 10 different ones up in our area, and our trap line's roughly 230 miles of area that we run.
Wow.
And
Wow.
yeah,
And
it's-
productive too, right?
It's
At
well,
least
it's
from what I've
productive
seen.
because we cover a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys bag a lot of critters.
Yeah.
So when you do the trap
Sure.
line, do you have like little stations, like you'll go 100 miles and you can stay there, or you like running that whole loop in one day?
Well, we split it up day by day because we're out there all winter long. So,
Okay.
I'd say each line gets checked every 4 days probably.
Okay.
And some more than others. But no, we cover all of that in a week, I'd say, just kind of based off our schedule. But on our last season on TV, Brett had bought a property like further out, like 80 miles as the crow flies.
Okay.
And so that's kind of, we call it our outpost cabin.
Cool.
And so it's kind of like this connection where we can like push even further
Gotcha.
and
Yeah, it's like a
then
midway
have all
point
this
type
untouched
thing.
area. Yeah. Yep. And hunt out of there too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's nice.
So we're growing.
Cool. And does Brett help you like run these?
Women's
Oh.
groups?
Brett loves women's retreat. Oh my gosh. It's his
It seems
favorite
like Adam. It
gig.
seems like Adam
favorite
loves
gig.
them too. with
Yeah.
Jana.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yes, exactly. Well, Adam, he was like, okay, if you're going to have girls trip, then I got to have boys trip. Where Brett's always had boys trips. He's always bringing clients out. And then I did that the first year, and I was just like really lonely. Like this was before Starlink, So I'm like just out with men all the time and away from my family and my social life. And I was like, how do I get women coming out and doing this stuff? And so that's kind of what like sparked the idea there with like, I want to bring a bunch of girls out that are interested and do this. And it just kind of took off from there. But he was totally on board, has been super supportive. And then after the first retreat we had, he's like, man, girls are awesome.
Man, I love girls'
Yeah,
retreats.
because they listen, like they're like
Yeah.
super
they
engaged.
don't know act like
Yeah.
they know everything. You
Right.
can tell them stuff.
Everyone's really positive. They're helpful. They're clean. I mean, and they all just think he's like the coolest. You know,
Oh
they're
my
like,
gosh.
we love Brett. And I'm like, yes, I know. And I'm like, don't inflate his head any more than it already is. But yeah, he loves the women's retreats. They're fun. So this will be a good week.
So this will be the second year you've done it?
Yep.
Okay.
And will you do just 1 week?
Yeah. January is the best month. And then I still want to leave weeks for him to have his normal like clientele and stuff.
Yeah.
And have those opportunities. So right now it's just one. And if it grows and stuff, then I might do more, but they'll just have to look a little bit different.
Yeah.
A lot of our fur closes the end of January in our area. So we're kind of limited.
And there's clients?
That's
like,
what that was my question. So
Go
he
ahead,
has
go ahead.
he has
Yeah.
clients that
Yeah.
come to like run a trap line.
trapping clients, like
Yes.
a hunting client.
Yep.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Well, it's
either.
not really. He kind of was the first one to do it in Alaska. And the guy that got him on it in the first place, he has a bunch of Canadian friends, and a lot of them he's met through SCI. And so there was a guy in Canada that was doing it for quite a number of years and kind of gave him the idea and was like, cool, if people are interested. And they were. And now you'll see there are a couple in Alaska now that are doing it.
Pop up.
Yeah, but
so
Brett's
is there
been
any
doing
other
it like 10 years or so now.
special? I mean, other than having like a guide's license, any other like special permitting or licensing you like have to have?
Other
to
than your like annual hunt trap license,
Sure.
because there's no like week trap license,
Yeah.
right? So if you're non-resident, you got to have, it's basically all one thing. So it's a hunt trap license.
Cool.
So you got to have that. And then, you know, they can ptarmigan hunt and other stuff going on there with that. But yeah.
Do they put
Cool.
limits on certain species? Like you can only get whatever 20 of this or 2 of
Nothing.
those.
You go for broke.
I mean, there's a limit on wolves, but like nobody's getting them.
Yeah, you're rarely going to fill
You
your
know.
quota on wolves, right?
Yeah. And I don't know what it is for our area off the top of my head. I want to say there isn't one, but I feel like that's really incorrect. But I know like most areas it's 10, and we're like, well,
Wow.
nobody gets
I bet
10 a day, you know?
that-
So,
Yeah, I'm not going to say the unit, but I think it is 10.
well, there for sure, like down Bristol Bay, it's 10 a day, but
Yeah.
I don't know about our area. But
Yeah.
we don't even come close to those numbers for a daily quota,
Right,
so we don't
right.
even like touch that bar. But
What's the
Well-
most What's the most
That's all right.
popular like what do you get the most?
Martin,
Martin?
easily,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Thought so.
Yep. Our weasel groups, we do really well in. Our little weasel groups.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do have some big wolf packs, you know, because we're by the park.
Not
We get a
Wiseman.
lot of. No, not Wiseman.
Not the Wiseman.
No, not Wiseman.
I don't know where that came from.
And there's
That's
a lot
funny.
of wolves. I mean, there's I've heard a lot of people getting them this year, so I'm glad to hear it. But
Yeah.
they've really stomped out the moose population pretty roughly. I mean, on top of our 2 bad snow years, I mean, this one's
Yeah.
just as bad. We
Yeah.
haven't seen any moose. Yeah, but the
You
wolves have been
haven't
doing a
seen
number.
any moose. And
Not
Oh.
re- no, we've seen 1 bull, and we've been out riding around. When
that's not
normally
good.
it's like 30. In
Well,
a
there's a
day.
shit ton of snow too
So-
this year.
Yeah, and we didn't get a good freeze in the beginning either, so
That's right.
it took us. We were even late putting
Snow
our line
base.
out. It was just terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So what happens with all those furs you guys get? You sell them at auction? Are you making goods out of them? Or is, like, what's-
Real quick, hold that thought. It's no limit
okay, that's what I thought, but I
For
didn't
what?
want to say that.
Wolves?
for wolf.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't
no-
want to
no
say
limit.
that on a podcast and be like,
Well, I'm looking at
Oh,
the
okay.
regulations. I pulled them up.
okay, cool.
It's a
what I
fish.
thought.
And-
It's
and
a
it's
fish.
official. Okay.
I'm
good.
looking
That's
at
what
I'm
I
looking at a
thought.
variation of units, which I'm pretty sure I'm looking at your guys' unit.
Yeah, I don't think it changes till end of
And-
March. I know it closes, and then when it opens back up again, there's limits. But for this time of the year,
Okay, so you guys close March or April?
maybe it is April. I don't know.
End
Is
of
that the
April.
Trapper book?
Yeah,
Because there's different. There's the hunt version, then there's the trap.
I'm looking at the Trapper rigs.
Yeah. Is it April now?
There's 2 different.
Yeah.
Either way, end of
Either
March,
way,
whatever.
yeah.
There's no limit, and I'm
Basically,
surprised.
by the end of March, we're done.
It must just be actually that challenging to get
I bet.
animals to not put a limit.
There's just a lot.
Not to
There's a
mention,
lot of them.
outside of the fur bearer industry and what that opportunity creates for trapping, it's awesome predator control
Oh yeah, absolutely.
at its finest when they're like the most active and most vulnerable to harvest.
Yep.
I would say. I love it. I love it.
Well, I
know
think
there's a lot
it's so cool too that you guys are like young people doing that. Like when you think of a trapper, you think of
Like
this
an
like
old-timer.
Yeah.
old timer guy, not some young couple that's out there getting after it.
And that's kind of the
Cabo
mantra
fishing
too.
for marlin like last week.
Yeah. Brett hates me for leaving on that. He's like, I'm out here putting all this line out.
Yeah.
And there you are catching world
And you're in Mexico with a
Comes
bunch
back
of your
all glowing.
girlfriends catching trophy fish.
Oh, this whole thing, honey.
I said, well, somebody has to put meat in the freezer around here. Jeez.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's
nothing
kind
but
of our
news.
mantra with the TV show, though, is, we're like, we're going to get a lot of flack for, like, having nice snow machines and, everything that is entailed with, like, the romanticized view of trapping and what that looked like and what people like to see versus how it could be modernized now and how other younger groups of people can get out and do it and push the limits and go further. So we're trying to show that in a positive light, and be like, you can do these things, and they do make these machines that help you do that and go farther and push the limits, and you can make money out of it, or you can just find a new passion and just do something in your winter times. Because before, I skied in the winter, but when I could, and this is in the last 3 years since I've been doing this. It's been the first time in my life that I don't feel like I get any sort of sads or like any itching to go out and do anything, and it's because I'm outside every
Actually
single
doing
day,
stuff.
like making the most of the daylight, and I feel that, and it's fun. It's just fills my adventurous side,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing
Man,
it, right?
that is really encouraging because this winter living in the city does the opposite to me. Makes me resent it.
Yeah.
Like, I know you snowboard and some, you get on ice fish a lot. Been busy parent, and the winters I'm starting to like resent them.
Well, yeah, especially when you go to work, it's dark. When you get off, it's dark.
Just all of it.
hard.
It's like been living it for 40 years, but if you're actually had a purpose,
Well, just an
and getting out
activity
there
or two.
and the
to do.
equipment and all the stuff and a partner and the camaraderie and everything that goes along with an outdoor activity sounds fun.
Well, an AMDS drops off our machines.
Hell yeah. A
Go
couple
look at
expedition turbos.
Shout out
Ding, ding,
to
ding, ding,
Homer
trailer
Ski-Doo.
I love Homer Skidoo.
I will say though, we are on a first name basis by voice on the phone with AMDS. Just saying.
Oh, they know who you
They
are.
know us. Yeah, we bring in our snow machines quite often, but we're putting at a minimum 4,000 plus miles in
Right.
a season. So yeah.
Yeah, I just saw your new little sidekick there. How's that thing rolling?
Oh, she's nice.
Ooh, I think you
Yeah,
got a picture
pull
on
that-
your
pull that
The
baby
Turbo
up.
R.
Yes.
I don't know what the R stands for. I keep telling everyone it's really
Stands for
fast.
rad.
Radical,
Yeah.
Ramathorn,
Really
Radical.
fast.
freaking Ramathorn.
Is that an expedition?
Car ramrod. Yeah.
Ramrod.
Yeah.
I just stumbled across that movie the other night. It's still
Freaking
just as funny as
classic.
the first time you saw it,
It's
if not
loud.
funnier, actually.
It's
Oh,
too
those
loud.
people are hating
That's
on
my
the
only
colors, but I
complaint,
love
man.
that color.
I bought it because of that color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing is awesome.
I love that.
Brett's
combo.
like, you would get the most expensive snow machine because of the color. And I'm like, yes, I would. And we're going to get all the accessories.
Well,
And it's great, but you have to.
when you walk
You have
away
to.
from
I
it,
mean,
you
it's
can find
basically
it.
my car. I told him, I was like, all
Yeah.
winter long, I don't drive, and we're out here. So I'm going to basically
You wanna
buy a
have
car,
something that's-
buy my vehicle.
reliable. That
Yeah.
works, and might as well have it look good too.
I mean, that was just a bonus, but yeah, we needed that. I needed my own machine.
Did you not
for
have
what
one?
we're
Yeah.
doing. I was using Brett's, which I mean, it's fine. We kept
Yeah.
updating our machines, and then I was like, I'm going to get my own, and I'm going to pick out what I want now that I know. You
Yeah.
know, I've had 2 years riding different expeditions, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. But this one, I mean, we don't have a turbo. Now we do, but he's going to try to steal it from me for
Yeah.
bear season, and I'm like,
It's cool you got the, like the rod on the
because it can
front.
climb. Yeah,
Like the
heavy
that's that for
duty.
like brush.
the heavy duty bumper.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome. What are you
Yeah.
rocking there? 454?
yeah.
Nice.
I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're with Brett, you got to rock a 454 Casull.
Yeah. I think that's
That gun saves lives.
You got
does.
a Montana knife on there too, don't you?
That one is a half face blades, but they're
Oh,
very similar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh does
that
great work.
sheath looks
Josh
similar
does
to
great
that.
Is that a
work,
Diamond
too.
D
Yeah.
holster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice with the inReach there.
Everybody's with
And
us.
we're just looking at all the accessories
Oh, that's
and
cool.
your
Yeah.
Oakley,
Well, you never
Oakley
know.
prism goggles.
Jeez.
You know I love.
Do
those.
I pass the fit check?
Yeah.
According to AK_Austin, you do.
Yeah, fit check on
And then she
point.
rolls up. She's like, "I'm a trapper." You're like, "Oh, What's up,
jeez.
dude, bro, chick trapper?
You are.
Modern trapper.
I don't want no problems.
I just want to look like a
Modern
dude when I'm
trapper.
out there, you know? Then I know I've made it.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's a badass dude out there. And then you take your hat off.
You're like, oh my
They're
god.
like, oh.
God,
Do you have a tan? Like what?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's windburned. Okay, because it's minus 40.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I was just catching Dorado in Mexico. What?
So back Daniel's
Modern
question.
trapper.
Modern trapper.
What do you?
Yeah, what happens with the furs?
Right now, they're all piled up in my house. I did make a coat. We had a coat made with Martin. It took 52 of them, and I wear that thing everywhere. But we sell them. I mean, I don't know. I guess it goes 50-50. I have a hard time letting them go.
I bet.
But we make stuff out of them, too. Like, my girls, when they come in, they get hats and stuff. So it's all, like, a part of their package and
Very
things
cool.
like that. And so we find ways to sell the fur without like actively like being like, you can buy this pelt for $100. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, how do we utilize it and engage people more with like what we're doing? How do we sell trips?
Yeah.
I guess, and then like leave with the most amount of stuff. So, you know, when people are coming out as a client, they're also taking a bunch of fur home too.
Yeah. It's not like a get rich thing.
No.
It's just like something to keep gas in the machine
Oh, yeah.
and
I
have
give
some
them
nice
away
things.
a lot, you know. They make
Yeah.
great gifts.
Fills the passion
Make
tank,
stuff
though,
with
doesn't it?
them. Oh yeah. I mean, I do fur sew, but where we're at right now, I just don't have the space to do it. So
Sure.
in the future, when we build our home, I'll have a craft room, and then we'll be
Nice.
telling a different story. But for right now, they're all piled up in my house.
Yeah. How's the
True trapper cabin.
how's the haters? Do you get a lot of like hate messages or hate things?
50-50.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. I'd say more so since the show came out. It's been more positive.
Okay.
I've been very surprised. I've been waiting for the influx of, you know, you're doing things wrong or whatever. And also Alaskan trappers, I guess it's a whole like war on ethics because we all trap so differently and we use different methods that aren't legal
between
in a lot of other
snares and
states.
this and that.
So they just
Yeah.
don't understand. It's the
So there's-
naivety. They just don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
don't know.
or they're like, well, why are you doing it this way when there are other ways to do it that are more humane or better or whatever the circumstances? And there's just a lot of traditional ways that have you've trapped for certain species that haven't changed because they're just very effective. So you get a lot of people that are kind of desensitized to certain things. So, you know, what somebody doesn't see all the time, they look at and they're like, this is so wild. I have a really strong opinion about it versus someone who's seen it a lot or,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. But it's 50-50. I get,
Okay.
you know, I'd say last year I got a lot more hate when I was posting more like skinning and fleshing videos, like time lapses and stuff like that. I'd get like the
Do you
peer
get
groups.
flagged and stuff like on socials?
I actually have been a lot more this year, especially working with more like rifle content and stuff like that. Like when I went on that hunt with Christensen and
I would like
started
to hear
posting
about
pictures.
that when the time is convenient.
Yeah, anything with guns or knives or anything now, it's all being flagged. But
Yeah.
that's their new algorithm. That's not really people flagging you.
Right.
That's just
Just,
Instagram's AI technology
yeah.
learning, I guess.
Well, I wanted to back up a
cancel
little
us.
bit. Great question though, because
Can we take a break first, or you want to?
Oh no! Let's get a break and then I'll ask my question after.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. We'll
let's
take a
do
quick break.
Cool.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters and outdoor enthusiasts with the highest quality gear and equipment since they opened their doors in 1963. Barney's carries exclusive brands such as Alpaca Rafts, Sitka Sims, Exo Mountain Gear, Hilleberg, and much more. Barney's prides themselves with keeping a huge stock on hand of various top-of-the-line tents, footwear, sleeping bags, optics, cross-country skis, just to name a few. Barney's is also the exclusive retailer of Montana knives, Seek Outside, Kafaru, Stone Glacier, and their in-house brand, Frontier Gear of Alaska. Barney's has a superior selection of top-rated boots, sleeping bags, dry bags, mountaineering gear, electronics, and accessories. Need freeze-dried food or mountain snacks? They got that too. Barney's now has an amazing new paperback catalog available for in-store pickup or online order. Visit them today at barneysports.com, or even better, stop by the store in Anchorage at 906 West Northern Lights. If you want the best, there's only one name in the game, Barney's Sports Chalet.
Alaska Mining and Diving Supply, located in Anchorage for 47 years.
has expanded 3 stores. The main store, the largest Skidoo sled dealer in North America, also has Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Climb, Suzuki Outboards, Honda Outboards, generators and snowboards, Kingfisher boats, and so much more. Alaska Motorsports and Equipment just next door, which was previously Anchorage Suzuki Arctic Cat, for all your Arctic Cat, Suzuki ATV, Husqvarna, Generac, Mahindra Tractor, and now Argo Pro and Sasquatch needs. And to round it out, also next door, the brand new Alaska Mining Superstore, for the largest selection of recreational and light commercial mining equipment anywhere, period.
The Treehouse AK, your one-stop dispensary located at 341 Boniface Parkway. When you pull up to the Treehouse, you'll notice the beautifully hand-drawn art by Alaska's own Ted Kim. Once you get inside, you're going to see many of the same people that have been there since they opened. The bud tenders know you and what you like and what new product you should be checking out. The store is super clean and the music's always on point. The Treehouse and local owner Josh Boots is a staple in the cannabis culture through his music, community givebacks, and a lifetime desire to bring the people of Alaska the best products available. The Treehouse always has at least 25 strains available, and they're all shown prominently deli style in clear, openable jars so you can see and smell your options. Other products include edibles, concentrates, vape carts, pre-rolls, flour, dab rigs, and anything else you need, they got it. They also have some pretty sick merchandise for sale. Check out thetreehouseak.com, or better yet, stop by the Treehouse today and get started on their loyalty program. Remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
Yeah, so they expected you to go out and just hunt anyway for the content?
Yeah, well, they come in, the show comes in with a storyline. They're like, hey, this is what we're expecting, what we want to cover. And we're like, yeah, well, we're not going to be able to do this moose hunt, because this is when our wolves come through. The wolves come through every 10 days. And they're like, all right, well, we'll follow you around and we'll see what happens. And sure enough, within that hour, we had 3 wolves hit 3 different spots. They'd been in there maybe 30 minutes. And so, we're going up, dispatching them. They're filming the whole thing. And so day 1, we're just like 3 wolves down, boom, 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 and we're like, this is what we do. Cool. Like, we're sharing this, and they film the whole thing. And these are like Montana boys, and they're like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Right. Yeah. And they're like, you guys are really doing it. And then, that whole week of work goes to the network. It goes, from Montana to New York and sits with History Channel, or like sits with a group of people like over that, and they're like,
they're like, hell no.
They're like, we can't show this on TV. So basically, that whole like week that we did was for nothing, and all of that, So, people don't like to see wolves and things, and
it's kind of a bummer that they can't show it. I get it. I get why.
Well, it's because the media pushes the fact that they're like Yellowstone and they're going extinct, and that agenda. They're pushing that agenda, and they're wanting to bring wolves back into these states, and people just think that they're
a fuzzy cute dog.
Yeah, a domesticated dog. And that's not what they are at all, and they aren't seeing how they're affecting deer populations and so on and so forth. So it is sad that you can't tell like the true story, but maybe over time that will change. Who knows?
Yeah, well, it's different up here in terms of the wild country that the animal has in terms of its habitat.
Yeah.
Montana's a lot smaller, a lot more people.
And it's very difficult to trap wolves. They are the hardest fur-bearing species. Everything is related around scent. You have to really make them make mistakes to get one.
Wow. You got to really outsmart them.
Absolutely.
You're not putting
in their
on
own
the
territory
before you go out on the line.
No.
She's
I would get in trouble.
Some loose blood on her, on her climb jacket.
I'd be in so much trouble. Yeah.
Don't you do that. Well, I had a question earlier before the break. So you guys stack up the hides. So are you guys not fur bearers? Do you not consider yourself fur bearers in terms of like, are you part of the fur bearer industry, and do you sell some pelts to help cover costs? Do you have?
We used to.
Okay.
Brett was very involved back when it was going for a lot higher of a price. And
he was like making part of his living off that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And he was a top lot trapper. So
I can tell.
So his pelts would they would go as like number ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
of
so
quality, how he
so
cared
they
for
were
them,
very
what
highly
he
sought
did.
after
Okay.
and sold for top dollar. Yeah.
All right.
But then that fur market dropped. Yeah, and it's just never been the same since. It's coming
Okay.
back, but we watch it, and
that
sometimes he'll sell
pre-COVID?
sheds and things like that, like at for Rondi and stuff, like during that time. But
Cool.
So would you say a lot of the stuff that maybe you see at Fronde was a lot of his products?
yeah, just not in the last couple of years. Not
Okay.
I guess not since I've come into the picture.
Okay.
Before he just had piles, and now I'm like, I have ideas with them. So
So
now
you're hoarding all the furs.
Yeah.
Your treasures.
So it's changing. We do bring a bunch to like our shows. So like SCI, when we go to
Yeah.
Nashville, we'll have a bunch of them hanging there, and people will come
cool.
buy them and stuff like that. But
Cool.
and then I have just from taxidermy, and when I was working in that field for quite some time, I've made a lot of out-of-state connections, and people will call me all the time and be like, "Hey, I want a wolf pelt. This is what I'm
Cool.
looking for." And I'm like, "Cool, yeah, this is what I have." So I sell through word of mouth and stuff like that, or Instagram. People will message me, be like, "I want some
Cool.
beavers." But yeah, it's not. We're not like selling on the market.
So you harvest them out in the field, skin them, flesh them, salt them, and then tan them out there? Or do you pretty much just let
I
them
don't
freeze
tan
up
them
and
at
then...
home.
Okay.
I send them out. I mostly send them to Moyle Mink and down in
Okay.
Idaho, and they do most of our
Oh,
tanning.
I see. Like a bulk. So they're flesh salted up,
Yep.
frozen, and then...
No, they're all dried.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Dried. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. So you got to haul them out from the cabin to the truck to
To
town.
the mailbox.
To the airport.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I drive them down to
Yeah.
Idaho, hand
Yeah.
deliver them.
Yeah.
But we're used to that. We haul everything to and from the cabin.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even our house in Wasilla is a cabin.
Well,
And they're all dry.
point I was
So we haul
making-
water everywhere.
Wasilla's dry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So we haul our water to and from. I'll haul water from our cabin to Wasilla. And
You're going to fill up here
Very
at the
many
studio?
miles.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, you guys might
I'm going to
Those
take
ivy
some of
down
these.
the
Oh, you guys
stairs.
got water over there.
Yeah. Donated by
Well,
the podcast. Thank you.
The
Shout
reason
out.
why I asked is just because, I mean, if you really think in depth of the process that it's taking to go set up a trap, run the line,
Start to
cover
finish.
your
It's a full-time
tracks and
job.
scent and the whole thing, load them up, bring them in. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what a, like, you have to love that because that is not an easy thing.
Yep.
I mean, just skinning stuff alone is hard.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever skinned a mink or a beaver.
No, it's
You know,
probably
you
just
skin
so
a bear or something, it's like a
intricate.
big animal. You skin something
Oh
that's
gosh,
small
the big
and
ones are hard,
turning
man.
ears,
Big
Oh,
one's
yeah,
harder
turn
than
it-
the smaller.
ears
Yeah, if
and
you're
nose
doing
and
face
lips
work,
and all that stuff. Yeah.
But you're not doing that work unless you're going to sell it as a taxidermy mount. And
Okay,
so
good point.
You kind of have to have an idea. So there are some that I look at that and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to keep that one for, and
Yeah.
have its potential for a full mount. But most of the stuff is garment, set up for garment. So I'm not
Okay.
spending a lot of time turning all that. And with stuff tiny like weasels, their skin is so thin that a lot of it you can just kind of open it up with your fingernail. So you're not
and
having to
push
do a
it
ton
off.
of knife work.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're
so
not
you
with
can
the
get
handle
by.
on, just like
Yeah,
trying to.
no. And even, I mean,
Okay.
the face is going to make it through tanning too.
Yeah.
Through the most part, you're not going to have like a lot of slippage with a lot of stuff. But
Ivy's
Okay.
actually working on my blacktail from Kodiak.
she's
last
next on
year.
my
Oh,
list.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's gonna be
Like a
you know-
shoulder mount or something.
Yeah, I was gonna. I
Oh,
did. We're
badass.
doing a shoulder mount. I figured like for each of one of the species that I get, like I figure a shoulder mount would be cool. So
But then you went and shot a bigger one this year.
I did.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the one she got this year was
I was
really
like,
nice.
well, I haven't mounted yours yet. So
Yeah, we could do a little flip flop. Christian
I'm sure
has
the mold will probably work.
has the Euro that he's gonna do for me for that. But
Oh,
yeah, it was
okay.
funny. She was a seat in front of me on the way back from Kodiak last year, and she's like, "Ooh, can I do one of your bucks?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure,
Please,
cool."
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be a cool.
Did you
shoulder
do your
mount.
goat too?
I have a shoulder mount of my goat from Valdez.
You
Yep.
do? Okay.
And then my first goat, I just have a European.
Nice.
Yeah. So what I know, didn't you go to like a taxidermy kind of school for a while that was like a few week deal? What's your
Well, I worked at Skulls and Bones in Soldotna for quite a number of years. And
Yeah.
so that's where I learned how to skin and flesh and do a lot of Euro and bone work
Yeah.
necessarily. And then, I mean, I've always like been more artistic, I guess. So was kind of like, oh, I'd probably really love taxidermy. So I kind of stepped into that door and found a guy down in Idaho who's like a master wildlife artist.
Cool.
And instructs. So I went down there and basically would learn a new species with him. So I have maybe like 8 under my belt.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm noticing that as soon as I got done with taxidermy school last time, I'm just like, wow, our schedule's so big that I have no time to be a taxidermist.
But like
sort of
also
thing.
what a perfect
Because
what a
normal
perfect
downtime is like trap
side-
time.
Yeah.
Right.
But like a side thing to have to do.
It's basically
when-
just for our clients.
Yeah.
I offer that. And
Oh, it was
like what a cool
full
specialty, you know,
circle package.
to have when it's available to
Yeah.
you to do, you know, because everybody knows taxidermy takes a while.
Yeah.
So you do it when you fit it in, you know.
And it's funny because a lot of the stuff I've done too, I'm like, okay, I've done it once. I will never do it again. Like this moose I'm working on right now, I'm like, Brett, no more moose clients. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. You know,
Yeah, those
I did a
suck, I hear.
porcupine. I was like, no more
What?
porcupines. No more. You know, every time I do one, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do another one of those. So I haven't found like my little niche yet. I mean, it's definitely the smaller stuff, like the first stuff. Like I've done marten and lynx and stuff like that. And I'm like, these are cool. Like I could do this. So even just to have that a part of our trapping tours is cool.
Yeah, but you
and
got
I can
that-
whip
yeah,
those
you-
out without a shop.
Yep,
Because
you
that's
got
my
that
other
in
thing.
your
I'm
back
like,
pocket.
I don't have a
Small
shop right
and-
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta have the
Shop,
space.
craft room.
Gotta have-
That's
Are you-
coming in the house build.
You talked about 8 under your belt. Are we talking shoulder mounts or full body mounts on some of
Both
these?
life size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Life size, yeah.
Shoulders. Yeah.
You're doing a
Different
shoulder on the
species.
moose?
So what are the 8?
Man.
What are the 8 that you got?
Let me think. There's a life size mountain lion, a life size lynx, a life size marten, a couple blacktail, a moose. What
Goat?
am I missing? Sheep. I haven't done a goat. Porcupine.
Funny, a porcupine.
Yeah.
That one was. He's really cool.
What was
but
the request? I want a life-size porcupine.
It was, so it's funny because it was Brett's, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to life size this." He has.
I mean, what good
basically,
practice though, too. It's like, who cares if you fuck it up?
They're cool. I
Yeah.
mean, no,
And you can order a mold.
You can't.
You can order a mold for a
Yeah,
porcupine?
they're a little funky, so you
You're
gotta
like,
do like you gotta kind of make them look a little more realistic. But
Okay.
yeah, no, they're a pain in the butt because you have to. And it was funny because I brought it to class with me, and it was frozen whole, like in a freezer, and I carried it on the plane because I didn't know how to.
Carry on.
I wasn't able to check it because I already had a ton of other crap that I was sending down there,
Yeah,
and so I was like,
probably kind of
"This one's the tiniest
In
thing
the
I have."
Isn't the carry-on bag?
Yeah, so I
You
brought
put
it
in
through
like
TSA.
like a dog crate, like a small little dog.
Yeah,
You're
how
like, down.
did you get away with that?
It was
Down,
like
Piper,
in a
the-
bag, frozen, and I brought it through TSA. And so, of course, that was like a first for everybody. You know, they're like, what
Red
the heck
flag.
is this?
Pat this chick down for sure.
Yeah. No, they all loved it. They're, you know, I'm like, it's working because I'm leaving Alaska, right? So,
Yeah.
like, they're like, I get it. But if I was having to come back from anywhere else, it wouldn't
Yeah.
have worked. But, yeah, no, you gotta. So I had to skin it. I mean, which is a pain in the butt because they got spikes everywhere, and and then you gotta flesh it like a bird. So you got spikes flying around everywhere and stabbing you, and you gotta wash it a bunch of times.
So
And
you
yeah,
can,
they're a
like,
pain.
roll it on the 2x4 with the blade and
There
pull
really
on it.
is
Like,
no
it's-
salvaging your fingers when you're working with them. Yeah. And you don't realize how many little like pokey things they have until you're like working really intricately with one. Like
Yeah.
all the way up around their eyes, around their nose.
They have
they
quills built in all the way around?
Everywhere. Yeah.
Wow.
It's very interesting. They're a very cool animal.
They ever get hooked up in the traps?
No, not usually.
Just like by mistake or whatever?
Yeah, no.
Are they, because they're out in the wintertime, right?
Yeah, no, they're out.
Yeah.
We'll see them. They're
Yeah.
up in trees and wandering around, but no, they don't get in our traps at all.
Okay.
I say that and I'll probably freaking
Yeah.
you got one in there
It's
now.
going to be full. You're going to have
Fucking
Oh, you're
Brandon
like,
30
"Whoa,
on the
you guys."
podcast jinxed us.
Yeah, probably put one in there for me.
30
Came out here.
porcupines.
Yeah, no, they're cool. So yeah, I don't know. It's just the list is growing with the species there, but
Cool.
yeah.
That's just a cool
Now we
skill
can
to
find
have.
some
A
time.
cool skill to have in your back pocket, you know, and to
Yeah.
offer.
It's fun. I've mostly just done all of our stuff and then
Yeah.
friend stuff and a couple clients, but yeah. It's fun.
Can we backtrack
Yes.
like way back?
Yep.
Like we didn't even get to like Ivy's history at all.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up in Soldotna, correct?
And I was just thinking about the fishing thing. She was talking about her
And
fingers.
commercial
shooting.
fishing. And Alaska native?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, there we go. That's the bullet
That's
points.
it.
Yeah, I grew up in Soldotna, but my mom's side of the family's from Agigik in the Bristol
Okay.
Bay region. So that's where my Lutic heritage comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And I've spent every summer there ever since I was born. So it's always been home for me. So I have basically 2 homes.
You've got like 4 homes.
I know.
Yeah.
But you know what? Isn't that the
Growing.
dream that you have like homes all over Alaska? You're
Yeah.
like, this is,
Yeah.
I'm going to this home or this
for
home.
sure.
Yeah, no. So I grew up out there, and it's very like Wild West Alaska, and you're riding 4-wheelers around everywhere and fishing and doing all the fun stuff with your cousins, and just getting into riffraff. But I grew up in Soldotna, went to school at Skyview High School, and it's no longer a high school; it's like a junior high now. And
Is
so
it
now
really?
it's- Yeah.
Ooh.
They merged a couple years after I graduated, so it became so high, kind of adopted everybody.
Got it.
So I was the last years at Skyview, and I did basketball and track and cross country, and then that kind of led me into UAA on a running scholarship. So I ran there my 4 years in college. I was pretty decent. It was when our running program, the UAA running program, was really kind of growing. There was my years were kind of the ones to really take the program and run with it.
What did you run?
I was mid distance, so 1,500, 800 meters, and then I
Cool.
would run a 5K and 4x4, whatever they'd throw me in.
Cool.
And so that's how I met Dallas, and we became good friends because she was our media girl. Oh yeah.
Still got it on the button, dude.
You know I was ready for that.
I heard that in
And
so long. That makes me so happy.
Oh, man.
Seawolves have a game to play.
Can we get this
There's
guy on?
something about the Seawolves, something about the green and gold.
Have you seen the guy on Instagram? He's like a DJ here. This
Oh
song
yeah,
just came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
He made
DJ Gray.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that him? Okay. Well, anyways, it just popped up on my Instagram the other
that
day.
makes
He
me
made
so
like
happy.
a DJ reel with this, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's like terribly good.
Yeah.
You're like,
He's doing like
"God damn it,
all
that
the old
sounds
like
good."
Alaska
Yeah,
like
Mongolian
commercial
barbecue.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. It's
yeah,
good.
he's funny.
But so yeah, I did
Good
just
job,
hear it the
D.
other day.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's got to be of all of our generation if he knows all those old school,
Yeah.
Yeah.
old
school.
clicky or
Yikes.
those commercials, those like jingles.
Yeah.
You
The
can
jingles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's pretty close, like commercial fishing community. Who else is there? Haley, wasn't Haley from doing that commercial fishing? Also,
Yeah, the name of the community definitely seemed familiar. Like, I want to say I could probably even find some old notes or something.
Michael Andrew
What
Duda.
does she do?
Do you know Michael Andrew Duda?
No.
Big Iggy guy.
Michael Andrew Duda.
Is
He's
that
an Iggy Geek?
Yeah, he does commercial fishing every year out there. Did forever.
is that
And
long?
then also Haley. Man, what's Haley's last name?
Boof.
Boof. Yeah, Boof.
Buffin.
Buffin. Buffin. She did it too for a long time.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm one of those, they call him like a mud person or, so I'm on land. So
Oh, so
you're a land
doing the
You have
long
to-
lines.
Land.
No, I
Or,
set net.
Set net. That's what I meant
Yeah.
to say.
Okay.
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 I set net in river there. Yeah. So they have to come land or in river.
So
From the
every in last summer, like you'll do that until
Yeah. I've had a permit since I was 13.
cool.
So I've always identified as that when people are like, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, I commercial fish. And
It's
basically
just an easy thing to say. Yeah, commercial fish.
Every
That's what I
other
do.
job had to just agree that I was going to leave all summer long. And so
Yeah.
that was always really hard,
Yeah.
Oh.
to find where I fit in because I didn't want to give that up, that
Yeah.
part of my life.
Good
yeah.
for you for holding on to that tradition and the roots.
Yeah, it was
'Cause, I
all
mean,
I
that's a
knew.
long.
Yeah.
That's a long tradition.
So who else?
To
Who else?
hold.
Like everybody in your family, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa,
Yeah.
more or less.
It's more the women in our family. So I'm a I'm a fourth generation fisherwoman. So my great grandma, my grandma, my mom, and then me.
Cool.
And my dad did drift for a long time too. But then now he just comes and helps us with the operation. And now Brett
I love that.
comes in
He
and does
he
that.
comes and helps the ladies.
He uses his vacation time from Hillcorp to come over and
Gosh.
work in our boat.
Wait, so what's Brett has a full.
Commercial fishing season's where I get Brett back, because then he's basically, Brett is all things hunting, snow machining, but you get him in a boat and I'm like number one, right? So
Okay.
I'm like, you're in my world now.
He's the deckhand.
Yes.
I love that.
He hates it.
Go
but
girl.
he's getting really good. Yeah, so it's just fun. I've always wanted to find a partner that would be able to take that time off and come out and do that with me and enjoy that with me.
Well, just like
for him,
he's able to do that with
he's
you,
like,
then you can go and do that.
My open times out of the whole year are June and July, and I'm like, cool,
Well,
not
how
anymore.
convenient. Because
They
now
are
they're locked
officially
up.
filled now. Yeah. So I'm very grateful that we're able to do that and just kind of collide both things together. Just
Yeah.
switches it up
That's
too,
way
makes it
cool,
fun.
man.
But
Was that ever like maybe an option with the Mountain Men Alaska to go the fishing route?
they're
instead?
wanting to, yeah. So we might see that this summer. We'll see.
Oh, I maybe
cool.
picked up a
We might.
cue on something there.
These are things I can't talk about.
Man, I'm a good investigator.
digging up some tea. You are.
Cool. Well, I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, people
It's
love
fun.
their fucking Alaska shows. They just eat it
Oh,
up.
they do,
You know what I
man.
mean? It's like
They
we
do.
could like have a TV crew in here right now just watching us sit here, and then people would probably watch it.
People
You know what I
do.
mean?
I know.
Well, people do watch it.
Yeah,
so.
people don't watch it. Yeah.
Ivy, we got who we got here on the, on the
We got
screen?
grandma on that?
That's my mom. You'll make her cry when she hears that. I'm just kidding. No,
I was
that's
talking about
my-
this guy.
Yeah, we know him. That's my boat security.
Security.
Okay.
Security.
That's what the guys on the tenders call him. They look at him and they're like, "That must be boat
He
security."
just stands there with his black shades.
he
Just face.
Mugs.
Just
he
no
is very
expression.
like Bretsky. He'll be on here to speak for himself one of these days, but he's very
Bretsky?
like Bretsky.
Oh,
He's
okay.
very type A, very clean, very organized, and I'm more like go with the flow, you know, like totally opposite. We very well complement each other. But in terms of, especially in where we're like hunting and things get bloody and gory, like he's very clean. You know, there's no blood that goes anywhere, right? So in a boat, you can't really
Like
mitigate
that.
any of that. There's slime everywhere. There's blood everywhere. I mean, it's a murder mission. We're murdering thousands
Yeah.
of salmon
It's a crime
in a
scene.
small amount of time. And so he's
You
just
just
always
see-
decked out. He's in full rain gear. He's got sunglasses
Goggles.
on.
He's not getting anything on his
3 in
signing
the
goggles.
morning. It'll be a morning shift, 3 in the morning. It'll be pitch black and he's got his sunglasses on. So all the boats, they just laugh. They're like, this must be your boat security. And I'm like, yeah, it's my security guard.
Men in
But
black.
yeah, my cousin
Okay.
on there. She
And
fishes
mom.
with
Sorry,
us.
mom.
My mom and then our dog. And my cousin, she lives in Kodiak.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So she comes out and fishes with us in the
Everybody
summer.
comes home to do the job.
That's
I was
awesome.
wondering about your
Boat
dog
full of fish
lately.
right there too.
He's my mom's dog now.
Oh.
She loves him.
Well, and you're just gone all
Yeah,
the time.
I know.
So
Basically,
she got this gorgeous silver lab that I'm just like, obviously, I'm
He's a
obsessed with
good boy.
dogs. Yeah, and so I was like thinking about it the other day. I was like, "Where's Ivy's pupper been?"
he lives with my mom.
Yeah.
Keeps her company. They
That's
love
good.
him. Gives them something to talk about.
Yeah,
A dog.
yeah,
Yeah.
She
He's happy there. He's spoiled.
Shows him a picture of you once in a while. This
Yeah.
was
Are
your
you
mom.
FaceTime?
I did get to spend this last week with him.
Your
so
mom bailed
Yeah.
on you, so
I
but
know.
here's a picture of her.
Okay, so unless anybody has another question, I am
Yeah.
We have lots,
very
but go.
curious about photo contest, Christensen Arms. You won it, and then you got to go on a badass,
Oh, didn't you have a photo of that up?
epic.
it was epic.
What was the rant? I mean, it was just like
Three Forks.
Three Forks
Holy,
Ranch.
That place, I could talk for hours about that.
Had
place.
all
It's
the things.
insane.
Is that elk?
Yeah. They
Is
have
that
elk,
that really,
they have
really
pronghorn,
badass elk? Okay, I think I've heard of that.
they have mule deer, they have pristine fishing waters.
So you won the
Name it.
contest. Mm-hmm. So then after that, walk us through what went down.
Yeah. So I won a photo contest.
Which photo was it?
It's
Is
a
it up
picture of me in Hawaii holding. You'll have to go down probably. a
Okay,
bit.
I thought I saw another photo.
Yeah, you're gonna have to work hard for it. Oh, we're somewhere around there, or maybe
Top
one
right?
of those.
There it is. Go up. Right to the right there.
Up
Yeah,
on the
this
vest?
one. So this like half selfie of me in the middle.
This one?
I think. Yeah, click on that and then swipe through.
Gotcha.
It'll let you. Yeah, that
that
one.
one.
That's the picture. So my friend Macy took that. She came on our girls' hunt, and she's an incredible photographer. And she ran around with us and took
That's
a bunch
in
of pictures.
Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
We
cool.
did an axis deer hunt in Hawaii last
Is that like
year.
a really early,
DIY.
like sun up type photo?
Yeah, that was
early
sunrise.
morning or something?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, sunrise photos. So I submitted
Sick,
that one. I was like, can I please post this photo for this contest? She was like, absolutely. So I posted that, and then it ended up going to social media where people voted on like 3 photos in the contest, and then that one won. And so I got to go and hunt with their team at Three Forks with
Yeah,
Natalie.
you should go back to the deal.
Yeah. WWE superstar.
Eva Marie, if
Natalie
you will.
Eva Marie, she's super cool.
Different post?
Different posts, yeah.
You
she's
gotta
probably at
find
the
a
top.
girl with fuchsia hair. She's up at the top. It's weird looking at my social media. Okay, go up. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
oh,
different when it's on computer, huh?
right there.
Middle.
Yeah,
Oh, sick.
Oh, jeez.
yeah, she's super cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Badass.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a WWE superstar.
Yeah, and she's new into hunting. So this was her second elk hunt, I believe. Sorry, Natalie, if I get that wrong. But
Fuchsia.
yeah, so her first hunt
guys
was
are
out with Cam
badass.
Haynes.
I remember, yeah, she was on a
Yeah.
podcast, did a whole deal, and it was like she like bridged the gap for a lot of people that like weren't really.
Yeah, she basically was like, I want to get into this. Can people adopt me and like show me how? And everyone was like, we got you. And they like totally took her in. But yeah, she's killing it, and she's got like the right mindset, and
Yeah.
they're funny. Her and her husband, they bought like all this acreage out in Texas, and they're like, they have a farm, you know, and they're like, we're just doing it. Like, we want to switch our lifestyles and get
Yeah.
hunting and get our own food. And so, yeah, it was really cool to have. So we didn't hunt together. We hunted. I mean, we were at the place, but we'd
Yeah.
go off and do our hunts, and then we would like reconvene and at the end of the day and like talk about it and just
Yeah.
what happened and, you know, the lowdown. And they both were filmed, so I'll have a video
Oh,
or like a
man,
film
that's
come
gonna
out
be
about that
so
hunt.
cool.
But yeah, it was awesome. I basically just went in and was like, well, I want this to be a content hunt for Christensen, obviously. So like, I'm not out here to shoot a giant magnum elk. You know, this is my first elk hunt ever, you know.
Yeah.
If a nice elk legally walks out in front of me and the opportunity is there, I'm going to take
Yeah.
it. And yeah, so on day 2, we worked our butts off, and I mean the altitude was real tough. That was probably the biggest
Yeah.
challenge for me.
Is that Colorado? Or New
Yeah,
Mexico?
so it was Colorado. The ranch, like the Wyoming-Colorado border, runs right smack down the middle of the ranch property. So we were on Colorado side, and it was a Colorado tag. So that was
Cool.
cool. But yeah, I mean, it was just incredible country. And yeah, I mean, we saw like this giant bodied elk way up there right before we were losing light, like 30 minutes away. And my guide, he was like, well, we just got to decide, like, are we going to go for it or not? And I was basically kind of out the window where if I shot something by day 3, I could have it all processed and like ready for me to take home. And so I had in my mind, I was like, I don't care what it is. And I don't really want to shoot a spike, but I want to shoot something by day 3.
Yeah.
So that it's all prepared. Because we were going to continue to travel. I had way longer plans after this. I was going to meet up with Brett in Wyoming, and then we were going to go all the way to Montana. So I was like, I want this stuff ready to go, and I'm going to ship it home air cargo, basically. So I had a goal. I was like, I'm going to shoot something
Yeah.
by day 3. So night of day 2, we see this big bodied elk. We have no idea what it is. We just run up and I just freaking knock it down. And I didn't know what it was till we went and found it in the dark. And
Yeah.
it was like a 3x3. They, you know, he had like a
Yeah.
little nub. They're like, it's a 3x4. And I was like, that's a 3x3. But
Yeah.
I mean, just big, good genetics, nice looking elk, tons
Yeah.
of meat.
Super
And
happy about it.
Oh yeah, I felt like I hunted all day the 2 days. And I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot. It felt like a lifetime. It's one of those countries where like you get a little piece of all of it. So I got to experience every little bit. And that whole area covers so many different types of terrain. So I got to, it was kind of the end of their rut season. So I was hoping I'd hear bugling and answering and things like that, you know, when we're
Yeah, we
calling.
did
Hear
it that
any?
mid-October-ish, somewhere in that
Yeah.
range.
Yep. It was mid-October, I think.
Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
my elk.
congratulations.
It's
Nice.
great. Dude, he eats so good. It's some of the best meat I've ever had. It just tastes like sage and mint. The place
crazy.
is incredible, dude. It's
pre-seasoned.
awesome. But it was cool. I got to have it all. Like, I got to experience the bugling. I got to hike in some crazy crap. And I got to see herds, giant herds. You know, I had like 30 elk walk out right in front of me. And, you know, I had a couple where I chased down and just didn't like the shot that I was given. And so we passed on some ones. And then this one was like a 30-minute like murder mission, like run up the mountain and like
Love it.
get this thing
Get
down.
them before the sun goes down.
Yeah. And it all just came together. It was really cool. So I'm excited for the film because it'll just get to relive that story. But
Yeah, and then you'll
Yeah, it
have
was
that
fun.
forever.
and then the whole rest of the time I got to fish this like crazy water and catch tiger trout everywhere. And it was just the best time ever. I had so much fun.
That is so neat.
Sounds like a great experience.
It was neat.
Did Homegirl get her elk too?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
On the last day. So
So is
day
it just
6.
you two hunting?
Yeah.
What
But
was her
I
name
mean,
again?
Natalie.
Her name's Natalie.
Yep. Natalie Eva Marie. But dude, she's spoiled, man. She went out with Cam Haynes and shot like a nice 6x6, you know, her first
Yeah, not
elk. And then
everybody can be like, I
and
want to
then-
learn to hunt. Who should I go
Yeah,
with?
Cam Haynes. Here you go.
She had a giant one walk out in front of her too at 90 yards, a 6x6. So she's like, oh, those 3x3s are tiny. And I was like, Natalie, I shot a 3x3. And she's like, oh, no, yours was
But
big.
not
and
yours.
I was like, no, it was. No. So she shot a nice 5x5.
Wow.
On the last day. And so we got it all done. Pressure was off,
Cool.
but it was fun.
It looked like an amazing. I was definitely like, oh my.
That place is insane. They have the owner is friends with the people at Mayo Clinic, like when they first like started building Mayo. And so he has a facility built underneath the ranch where you can literally go and get like screened for cancer and like all sorts of stuff. They like
what I'm
basically
talking about.
like as a guest at the lodge, you could just go and have all these like crazy health screenings done. And like they have one
could
of
turn into
3.
that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
Guess
one of
what, buddy?
3 hydrogen oxygenated pools in the world at this
Whoa.
ranch. So the water is so oxygenated, you can just like sit in it and it's like being hooked up to an IV. It's crazy. So you'd like hike all
Did you
day
go
and then
soak in it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
After your hike and stuff. We waited
Yeah.
till the end, but yeah, it was great.
Cool.
How
It was just
unique.
neat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
probably
different.
just
a really
helped
cool
with
spot.
recovery and like,
Yeah.
yeah, what a cool idea because it's like
It's very like the high end bougie experience, right? But I mean, it is cool to know those places exist and like, I would love to go back.
yeah, who wouldn't? Yeah,
Yeah,
And it's funny, I think of it from like a guide perspective. I'm like, well, you know, money wise, people pay that much to go sit in a tent in miserable weather with me, and I can go pay the same amount and go get like super treatment.
right.
Yeah.
You know, so
and find out if I have cancer
Yeah.
downstairs.
So yeah, it's whatever what you're willing to pay and get out of an experience. But yeah,
I noticed
unique spot.
your photo, the Hawaii photo, it was a different firearm. That
Yep.
looks. I think you and Natalie had the same looking rifle.
yeah.
Hers had a
This is the Ridgeline.
okay.
So my other
what's
one's-
the caliber? Like what's
This is the 300 Win Mag.
Okay.
Yeah. The one
Okay.
in the photo is a 270 WSM, but it's their Summit model. So that was one that I had bought.
Okay.
And then this was
Christensen,
one they
they
gave me,
provided to
yeah.
you guys. Okay.
That's what
okay.
was my next question. So was that like a congratulations? You won a
Yeah.
photo contest. Here's an awesome new rifle.
Did they give you that rifle?
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
that's cool.
So you have 2 of those now,
I have 2 of them now.
270 and a 300.
And I am
Perfect.
going to have their new modern precision hunting rifle. They're badass. They're a great company and
Yeah, I
they
hear
make
good
incredible
things.
rifles. And yeah.
So now are you like in cahoots?
Well, maybe you'll find out. I cannot speak on all of the things.
Many things are pending here.
Yeah. You will see me working with them in the future. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're great.
Seems like it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, speaking about that, like ambassadorship and sponsorship, looking your stuff up, I mean, you have some other ones, right? Fishy.
I've worked with Fishy. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not
Sika,
still with them
Bubba.
now. They're all prior. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So those are probably older.
Okay.
I haven't been updated, but yeah, I've worked with Bubba a lot in the past, Sitka a little bit, and now I'm more like Kuyu line, but I don't know. I have so much of everything, so I just mix and match what I like.
Yeah.
I mean, with this hunt was all Sitka stuff. I
Which
don't know.
is huge in that area.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys rock that stuff, don't they?
I think for me, I had a hard time with the women's line for Sitka in general. It just, their fit wasn't really geared, in my opinion, to most like modern sized women, or like what most women wear. That's kind of like the younger crowd, the itty bitties. So
yeah, it doesn't fit true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've purchased some stuff, and I ended up giving it to my daughter. So
Yeah.
like, but I got your size, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
She ain't gonna fit my
Yeah.
mom's at my mom's.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, my bad.
How's the
Yeah.
KU women fit?
Cool that they have women's stuff though.
I really like the Kuyu women's line. I think they did a fantastic job with it.
More realistic.
Oh,
in
yeah,
terms of like
definitely.
their like true sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've liked their stuff a lot. I have a lot of it. I have a lot of things.
Well, kudos to designers, because making hunting gear, 10, 15 years ago, when you bought Mossy Oak and all that shit, it was boxy, and, it kind of was made to fit a broad spectrum of people.
Yeah.
And then you got Sitka and Kuyu, and First Light got in, making more like athletic fit stuff for men.
Yeah.
Not a lot of options for women. Sitka comes out with some women line, as you said. Their stuff is for itty bitties.
They haven't, it's been some years now, at least 5 or 6 since the women's line came out for Sitka, and it hasn't changed.
No.
And not to down them at all. They're doing a great job. They have a ton of pieces, but nothing has really changed, I guess, fit-wise.
Yeah,
and I would
design and
like
fit.
to see that happen. I mean, I'm like 2 sizes larger in all of these from what I would normally wear just to go and do this hunt, and so there's not that level of confidence that I could just go and like order something that's really expensive and expect it to layer properly and do the job. But I mean, whatever. You find
Kuyu
the one
women's line's
really good
new,
thing,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they've been out like 2 years now,
Right.
at least.
Yeah, I think I remember when Tana first posted, and it was like all this cool, and I've got a lot of like the layering top pieces. I don't have a lot of the bottom stuff, but the top stuff I love that are geared specifically for women. But
I have a hard time moving away from like my Fall Raven stuff and things like that. Like I find myself wearing a lot of the Kuyu pants that I have as just like an everyday pant. I do hunt in them also, but there are more expensive pants that I have in my arsenal that I end up just going to more often than not. But there's just so much out there. It really, you can't like hate on anybody for what they wear. It's the animals
you
don't care
find
what
what
you
fits
wear.
best down low or beneath or on top, and just mix
you
and
do
match.
it.
Yeah,
Yep. But
that's true. Let's take another quick break.
okay.
Big Ray's, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Ray's has the gear you need tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. At Big Ray's, you'll find brands like Carhartt, Grundens, Darn Tough, FXD, Okiwear, and more. Big Ray's is your one-stop shop for both outdoor gear and rugged work attire. Check out their new exclusive line of durable but affordable waders, inspired by and named after the majestic Aralak River in remote western Alaska. The Aralak wader was designed by Alaskans and proven for the diverse waters of the last frontier. Visit Big Ray's at any of their 5 locations statewide, 2 in Anchorage, 2 in Fairbanks, 1 in Kodiak, or check them out online at bigrays.com.
Tailored Restoration, helping Alaskans turn disasters into new beginnings since 1972. Their 24-hour services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, and repairs. Tailored built its reputation with years of committed and reliable service to the community with innovative restoration and home remodeling. When you have an unexpected home issue at the most improbable time, Tailored has an emergency response number with trained professionals available to help you anytime, day or night. Tailored Restoration has locations to serve you in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Give them a call at 907-344-1239 or make an appointment today at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlander products. If you want to customize your vehicle, talk to the team at Total Truck, where you'll find their expertise along with top brands such as ARE, RSI Smart Caps, Goose Gear, iCamper, Frontrunner, Rigid Lights, Rhino Lining bed liners, and everything you need to outfit your truck or SUV. Want to turn your truck into a sleeping option? They have rooftop tents, custom camping equipment, electronics, and solar energy packages to keep you powered up deep in the backcountry. Stop by their store location on Dowling between the new and old Seward Highway, or check them out at totaltruckak.com. Beyond the Lens, is that like a previous old show or something?
I was on an episode with them.
Okay.
It was a group that I guided in Basharoff when I was sports fish guiding.
Okay.
For a little bit, and then they did a show for PBS, and so there's
Gotcha.
an episode on there. Yeah.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Nice. Fly fishing. See that you're into that.
Yeah, that was my first love outside of college, I guess. You know, when you're done being an athlete and everyone's like, okay, a little runner, so are you gonna be an Olympian and run marathons? And I'm like, hell no. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. And
I'm
then,
a fish.
I was like, how do I get back into that? And then, yeah, kind of fell into fly fishing. I worked at Mountain View Sports for a little bit too after college, so that kind of like fueled the fire there, and made about a lot of friends that got me into that. So,
And you were living down in Soldotna
at the time. I was still in Anchorage.
Yeah.
And then when I moved back down to Soldotna, I was doing it like a lot, and then got my guide license, and then guided out in Bristol Bay for 2 years, and then met Brett. I guess got into taxidermy and then met Brett, so kind of moved away from fishing.
Yeah.
And now I'm working more towards my registered guide license right now. I have an assistant guide license.
Oh, wow.
And so
Good
Brett
for
and
you.
I kind of like teamed up together, and we're both guiding together. So I guess I'm moving more that direction, I should say. Mm-hmm. But I have not been fly fishing as much as I wish I would be.
Yeah.
I'll get back to it.
Full schedule.
That used to be an all the time thing for you.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That was
we
it.
all go through that phase, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you and I have that in common, where we like to have a lot of like challenging hobbies and passions, and we get into it and we don't quite like hit the ceiling, but we're like where we're happy and where we want to be. And then we find that new thing that like creeps in at the same time. We're like, cool,
Yeah.
jump into that.
Yeah.
And so now you have this whole like arsenal of hobbies. It's like, what version of me do you want today? Like, what
Yeah.
am I going to go do?
Yeah,
You
'cause
know,
I can do
there's a
all the
whole list of
things.
it. Yeah. Yeah. And you get like really into it. You buy all the gear, you spend all the time, and then you're like, I'm at the pinnacle of like, I'm okay with where I'm at right now. So what's the next thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what happened.
Well, interests change with,
Absolutely.
maturing, and obviously life
Friend
changes.
groups.
Yeah, friends and relationships, and things change over time, right?
Yep.
You're late teens to 20s to 30s, and if you enter into your 40s, and my brother and I were just talking about this weekend, how he used to be diehard hunting partner, and he just one day was like, I don't want to go moose hunting anymore. I'm like, what the fuck? How could you possibly not want to go on a moose hunt? Like,
Find a new
it's
partner.
draw period time. Like, you got to put in for permits. Like, I'm not
putting
doing it
you
this
in.
year. And he's like, I'm good. I'm like, I'm just eye tweaking it. Like, how could you not want to do it? Well, you fast forward several years past. He rides motorcycles, and he's got he buys antique 3-wheelers and dirt bikes, and he likes to build them in his garage.
I
He's
thought it was just antiques. He buys antiques. And
well, his
He's into woodworking now.
his interest
likes
his
antique roadshow.
interest changed
Yeah.
in what he's passionate about.
Yeah.
Picked up new hobbies.
Yep.
Did that.
You
Does he
just
still
don't
want to
have
get a moose?
enough time in the day for all
Right.
your hobbies. You know,
And
You
I
gotta
didn't.
pick.
I didn't
Yeah.
understand it. It made me frustrated, and I don't want to say resentful, but I was like,
for a second.
I was just kind of like, I don't understand how we shared this thing together as brothers and friends. That we do this, and you don't want to do it anymore. Like, kind of fuck you, But then, he's my brother, and I love him, so don't really feel that way. But at the time, I'm like, I didn't understand. Now, fast forward a few years, you mature, you get older, you can respect that and be like, cool, man, it's okay. I mean, I used to be a diehard go to the Russian for the opener. I don't really care to do that anymore.
Yeah.
People look at me sideways. I'm like, well, you do it for 15 years.
On to the next.
You want to go do something else, you know? And so that's cool that you
Jeez.
recognize
I've never
that.
even been to opening day on the Russian. Don't think I ever will.
What?
I
Well,
applaud
I
you
mean-
for fighting that fight.
Well, yeah. I mean, how are you going to do it now?
I know.
You had to have
She
the
goes-
spot reserved 3 months ago.
Yeah, she goes to Ikagik.
Yeah.
I know.
She's
Yeah.
grabbing them in the net.
Yeah.
So
It's a game changer after that. I'm like, the last thing I want to do is catch a salmon on a rod.
Right. Why
That's what I'm
the
saying.
Sockeye, I'm like, ugh, no.
gross salmon?
like she wants to fillet another damn fish.
Like, please, no. Where's the trout at?
Yeah.
You assholes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the show stuff because I know as people knew that you're going to come on, people had a lot of questions on how like the background and like behind the scenes of how these shows are filmed. Maybe walk us through like, you know, what does that look like when they show up to you guys' place? Is there like, okay, today we have to film this? Is there like a schedule? Is there like forced content? Are they like making you guys like do things that you're like, I wouldn't do this? I'm curious about that.
Yeah. What am I allowed to say?
Of course, don't break contracts
Let's
or
start.
whatever.
Let's start with just like being followed by cameras. Let's start there. Like,
Yeah, and there is the element you got to have. It's a TV network, so they got to have drama. They're gonna, and a lot of these shows they've been doing it for so many years. So you get new talent, and they're going, "Hey, this is the kind of storyline we need," you know, and they don't really even know us yet, and they're like, "Can you make this happen? Can you do this?" And we're like, "Well,
okay,
basically, we're like, no." I mean, it's been. I wouldn't say it's been a battle, but we've been very vocal about what we will and will not do.
Okay.
And then kind of work around those lines. You know, you can't make it easy on them, on
Yeah.
anybody, on any network.
You're not going to change your guys'
well,
Right.
you don't want to
But they're-
script it all out.
I will
make it
say
fake.
that I think with a lot of talent in the field, it's easier to have a script. And feedback that we've heard too, even from the producers or like TV film crew that comes out, you know, they're like, you guys are actually doing it, and they see the potential. They're like, we could do so much cool stuff. But the problem is they have to have a storyline before they even show up. So they pre-write all this stuff, and then they come in and they go, well, this is what they kind of want, but what do you guys normally do? And let's
Gotcha.
find common ground. And basically, if we could make what you normally do look just as cool or follow those criteria that we need, then we can make it happen and like give them that. And so we've been able to kind of, I guess, show ourselves. Like the first year we kind of had to play this fine line, and now we're going into like, look, this is what we do, and
Yeah.
you guys are here to film it. And if this is what you want, then you have to come. Like if you want to watch us breaking trail and getting stuck and having a hell of a time, then you need to come
These
the first
days.
week that we come out,
Yeah.
and not have us try to simulate this later to fit this storyline.
Gotcha.
You know,
That's just unrealistic.
Really
but
well
like,
said.
yeah, there are.
But it's the TV mantra, though. It's kind of the, well, if it's happened to you before, you've still done it. Can you do it? So like, you're not like faking it because it's happened to you, even if it happened to you 10 years ago. You know, so it's like, oh, you got stuck this way on this hill, like make
One
it happen
time.
again. You know, and you just can't. And the hard thing with Brett and I is we're being filmed as two people, as two talents instead of just one. So they want genuine interaction between he and I. And when we're out, especially on the trap line, we don't communicate. Like we already know. Like we know our jobs, we know our roles. And so it's really hard.
yeah, your face is covered up. You just look at each other and you're like, that way. Go.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
But they need some audio.
Yeah. So we're sitting there and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
They wanna hear a
why
little- they wanna hear a
do
little
we
bicker,
set
a
it
little
this way?
something.
You know, and he looks at me like with a death glare and he's like, why are you asking me how we do it this way?
Well, honey.
You know how we do it this way, you idiot. You know, and I'm like, because the world doesn't know why we do
Yeah.
it this way. So yeah, this year we've got it figured out a lot better, and we have a good team, and yeah, but yes, there's that element of, you know, they kind of come in with a story, and
But probably now that they know you guys and what you're really about, they can probably go back to their writers and be like, okay, let's write this in because this is actually what's happening.
yeah,
Or they're actually,
they see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys become, obviously, you're like living with these people. How many camera dudes are there?
Last year we had 3. This year we have 2.
Okay.
So we're down a little bit, but we have 2 really good ones, and that's part of the criteria too. You know, we were very adamant about having someone that could ride a snow machine.
Okay, that was my next question. They got to be capable to go out there and hopefully you don't have to save their lives.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, because you'll spend the whole day getting your
Like the
crew
cameraman
unstuck.
stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you waste the whole day, and, you know, in December you got 3 or 4 hours of light to work with, and that's TV. You can't shoot without light.
Yeah.
So
Or they're blowing a stock.
it counts. Yeah. And so Brett's up at 3 in the morning, and he's prepping all the snow machines and getting all the gear together. And basically it's just turnkey for them. So we're filming and, you know, telling these stories for TV, but we're also basically still guiding. So, I mean, we're
Gotcha.
running a full operation, and I'm still feeding 5 people and, you know, making
So they're
sure
not coming with their
everybody's
own
happy.
gear. You guys are providing the snow machine. You guys are providing.
They bring all their camera gear and their stuff that they need, and then we have everything else. So basically it's turnkey. They show up, we ride out, and
Gotcha.
then we provide everything. So Brett has to maintain all the snow machines. We have to keep enough wood to fire or keep the whole house warm and run showers and
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work just to even operate for the 2 weeks that you're out there. And also, if we didn't have Starlink, you know, we'd have a lot of unhappy people too. But
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I mean,
What a
it's
game changer, right?
Very luxury with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, to
Yeah.
have Starlink. But yeah, it's a full-time job. But this year, I think we've got a little more dialed and kind of have a system.
Yeah.
So it's not as strenuous
Yeah.
so far.
How does it work with, like, not to get into like details or numbers, but like contract negotiations? Are you like meeting with an executive and like, okay, we want to sign you guys for 1 more year? Or are you like able to like, is there an agent involved, or are you guys just
It's a
deciding
year by
what you're
year
worth?
contract. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there is a lot of that worth and rentals and things like that. So it has to be worth our time.
Okay, because they're obviously getting charged for these snow machines they're using and getting charged for staying at your guys' place and all that stuff. Got it.
Yep.
Almost like a client.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. No, they've been extremely gracious. I mean, they've more than made it worth our time.
Yeah.
So it's been a side hobby thing, but it's been fun for us, and hopefully I'll enjoy watching season 2. Season 1, it's weird to watch yourself
I
on
bet.
TV, and
That's like, I
sure.
can't even listen
Yeah.
to myself on the podcast.
Yeah.
I've never
Never listened to
been
one.
self-conscious, but for some reason, with me on TV, I feel like I just loathe
That's
so
got to
many
be a
things
whole
about
other
myself.
level
Yeah,
than just listening to your own voice, but actually seeing yourself.
seeing it because you know what really happened, and then by the time it goes all the way to post,
It all edited
you have-
out. And
and you have people that are reading notes, and if someone didn't take good enough notes or wasn't really there, or they go, I kind of like how this story's told this way versus what actually
and
happened.
you don't know the final product till you see it.
Right. So
Yeah.
we're watching it, you know, just
We're like,
whatever it is.
oh,
I'm
you
like,
little
fucking
sucker.
say
we're like, wow, we look like idiots at that point. Like, thank you. That's not what happened, you know, but
Yeah.
it's okay. I mean, you just have to know it's TV, and
You sign up for it
Yeah,
for that to
exactly.
some degree. Yeah.
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 and really, it's not that bad of a. I mean, the show itself is a great show. I always thought of it more on the lines of boring. Like, they're really good at making boring stuff seem interesting to the rest of
Okay.
the world. And so that's kind of, because we really fought it for a long time. It took a couple months. We were kind of the last ones to be like, okay, I think we'll do it like on these terms. And we had like pages of, we're like, you know, so many things that can't be said or done or whatever.
Is that just a list that you and Brett came up with together?
Brett's list. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, you have to protect your own and what
What
you
were
do.
what were like a few of the things on the list that were like will not?
Big things are names. So like names of anywhere we are, what we're doing.
Oh,
like
you
this
don't blow up
creek
the
or this
spot.
whatever.
Vehicles. Yeah, there's just certain things that we didn't want shared or shown, or you know, just to kind of protect what we do. And
Privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That checks out.
yeah, so a whole bunch of that kind of stuff. And then yeah,
Well, and then depicting it as genuine, right? I mean, having met Brett and having this conversation with you, you're going to be damned if you're going to sell out per se to TV and depict something that isn't what you guys really are doing. Because I'm sure this is like a take it or leave it thing.
Yep.
It's like, if you guys don't want to do it this way, we're good. We're
Yep.
just going to run our trap line and do our thing anyway, right? With or without you.
Yep.
But we're not going to fake this shit for TV. You just got to look real and be real in what we are, who we are.
Yep.
And that's cool because it's easy to sell out and let the producers make it what it is and make it what they want the world to see versus finding a compromise.
And they've
that's
been
pretty
more
cool.
than willing to work with us on everything and are on the same page as we are. And after the Christensen hunt, I met up with Brett, and then we even drove up through Montana and went and met all of the people at the production company.
Oh, no way.
We went through there, and so we got to kind of face to face with people that were editing us
on their turf.
on their turf. So we got to roll in and meet those guys, and so we have this more face to face connection now. And and first season of anything, I guess, TV wise, is going to be really awkward. Yeah. So I don't know. We're just kind of enjoying the ride, seeing where it takes us, and we're just trying to be authentic and just share our story.
Authentic. That was actually the word I meant to say, not genuine. Authentic.
Yeah.
Because, man, Alaska stuff, there's so much cool content on TV and internet about Alaska, but, you know, us as Alaskans, you watch shows, Ice Road Truckers, you know, Deadliest Catch, you know, there's just, you watch these things and you're kind of like, sometimes you're so hung up on trying to nitpick what's real and what's not and all this. And
you'll never truly know. That's what.
Yeah.
You have to take everything
instead of just enjoying it. It's a TV
show.
Yeah.
I mean, but to hear what you guys are doing, like, I'm really excited to watch it because of
I'm gonna go watch it tonight.
The parameters that you set to make it genuine and authentic.
Yeah.
And just knowing
you'll laugh because after sitting with me at a table, you'll be like, "Look how awkward she is." Just like, "Hello."
we are working a trap line. I'm going to go trap this animal.
Let me start the snow machine.
100%. Oh, okay.
Well, it'll be cool to see, like, after this one, and then as you guys go on, if you decide to continue with it as you grow and probably become more comfortable in front of the camera and all that stuff. And it's cool to see, like, other shows, like, for example, Life Below Zero and, you know, Sue Aikens and these people that are, like, up for Emmys and, like, this lady's just, like, living her life, and now she's dressed up at some red carpet thing, like, about to try to win
and that's why you have
Emmy.
to get Brett on here, because he has so many good stories. He worked for Life Below Zero too as their safety guy for a while, so he even had like prior experience with TV in general, like from behind the scenes. And so him and Sue are really close, and she's supposed to come do a moose hunt with us this next year. But and I tell her story a lot too when I explain like TV stuff to people, because there's an episode where she's on a moose hunt, and they're like looking for tracks, and it's in the wintertime, and she's like, "Oh, there's a moose and went right here," and then the scene cuts to these like rabbit tracks.
Oh,
and everyone's like,
what
an idiot. She's like, she doesn't know what's going on. It's literally like really poor notes from posts, and they're like, "Oh, tracks in the snow, here, put this there." But all of us look at that and we're like, those are rabbit tracks, dude. Right. And they're like building up, like she's tracking.
She's on the trail.
Down, right?
Oh, God. And I'm like, production error.
Yes, but it happens all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
so much content.
Not everybody.
And most
with
people,
you.
and most people
in
probably
the field.
wouldn't catch it, but like,
right. But I mean, it's something
Alaskans
as simple as
Yeah.
that people hang on and
well, they're almost
and look
looking
at.
for it to be like, oh, like they got
Gotcha,
up right
bitch.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
We
what
call
I mean
them-
by
watch,
that.
We
though.
call them breadcrumbs. You have to leave a little bit of breadcrumbs for those guys that like look
Yeah.
for it. So they're like, "Oh, look at that."
Yeah, okay.
you're like,
A
oh,
little bit.
nice, you really
There's
got
some
it.
thought. Yeah,
Yeah.
you nailed
Idiot.
it, buddy.
Yeah. Just keeps them watching, because they're like, "Oh, next week I'm going
Just
to find
trying to
another
find
one."
something
Oh,
to
piece of
nitpick.
candy.
That
Piece of
comment.
candy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Candy.
It's TV, it's never
Yeah,
it's never going to be
Yeah.
truly authentic, but
Well, in your guys'
Can only try.
genuine trap line and stuff like that, is there a story maybe that you can share where you're like, man, you rolled up and like the slinks was not really attached, and is there some kind of crazy thing where like shit got hairball?
no,
You can share
not
or-
hairball. I mean, the whole when we were talking earlier about like 3 wolves, and they were filming that, that was just like wild and crazy, and we expected 1 but not 3. I mean, that's exciting, and they filmed all that, and then we'll get some live animals in a trap like that were just caught, and they film it, but none of that will ever make TV. But
Yeah.
But
That's
maybe
Nothing like-
anything that wasn't
Not on TV.
It wasn't like where the film crew
Oh.
wasn't there.
Like you could tell our listeners
No.
the real story.
Yeah.
Like you had to
No,
bonk
I
this
mean,
thing
we've
on the
had,
head.
well, yeah. I mean, we dispatch Martin all the time, and
Yeah.
Brett just had a mink, but no, nothing like predator really, other
Okay.
than wolves.
Have you had to pull that 454 out?
Well, the moose charge, right?
The moose charge we did, yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Well, they
You
don't know.
guys had-
Maybe they don't
you
know
had
about
one
that.
I don't know
charge, you
about
guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's on my Instagram. But we did have
Like the video?
One, yeah.
oh shit! Let's pull it up.
One little bull, one little feisty bull. We were,
They were riding Canadian. Well,
Yeah.
shoot.
I
What?
didn't have a snow machine yet.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
shoot. They're riding
Is
Canadian.
that nuts
Yeah.
to bus?
Is that like
No,
in the
Canadian
two
side,
up seat,
Canadian
yeah.
side to side. but
I
they were
love
not-
riding the
Canadian
two up seat.
side
It's
to-
my favorite thing. I don't have to
Probably
focus.
so warm.
My head's on a
Just-
swivel. It's got hand warmers. I'm looking
Yeah.
around. I'm like, moose sheds, moose sheds.
Yep.
But
Just see everything.
so will it take you just to reels? if you
we can
slide
go to
over?
reels, yeah.
Yeah, it's the it should be pinned.
Is
Okay,
this
go
like
down.
a little promo?
Yeah. I
Can we
think-
play that?
Yeah,
You mind?
go ahead.
You Bluetooth?
Yeah, man. I'm Bluetooth up.
It's just
I
the
think
Mountain
I
Men
am.
Alaska promo.
You can die anywhere if you screw up.
You just lost your engine.
Oh, shit.
There's a multitude of things that can go wrong. But I wouldn't do anything else.
Mountain Men Alaska. New series Thursday, November 9th at 8. Only on the
If Brett was
History
sitting here, he'd go, "There's my hand. There's my hand. My chainsaw. My chainsaw. There I am. I'm on the TV.
I'm on the TV.
I'm on the TV."
Okay.
Yeah, you'll have to scroll for it, I guess. So keep going down. Oh, let's see. But we were hauling out like a whole bed. So we had like a mattress and frame and all this stuff. So we really couldn't get off trail at all. Okay, go up.
Too far?
Yeah.
I
Where are
think,
we at?
I think I saw it down there.
Oh, maybe you did. Okay,
Yeah,
go down.
keep
I don't
going down.
remember.
Go down?
Yeah, I think I saw a moose like the ears pinned back right, the left.
This one?
Yeah. Is that not it? No.
No, that's a skinning one. Okay, keep going.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Damn, girl, you
Jeez.
got a lot of reels.
Oh,
there
that
it
one.
is.
That one.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cowboy, now I'm coming on down the line.
Holy shit, look how pissed he is.
Oh. Did you let one off?
No.
She's riding behind him, like filming.
Oh, okay.
That's Brett.
Wow, he
He was ready
very
to.
poised.
Surprised they didn't let one off, man. That thing was right
Wow.
on top
I mean,
of
like
you.
it almost
He
put his
knows
mouth
that
on
gun
the barrel.
well. That was the thing, though. He's like, if that hoof wouldn't have came up over the top, he would
He would have
have.
pulled
Yeah.
the trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it really was like right there. He just touched the machine, turned around. But
Was it glucking and grunting and stuff? Because it's opening
no,
its mouth and whatnot.
no, he just was tired
What
because he wouldn't get off
amazing-
Off the trail.
What amazing freaking.
And we
footage you
tried.
got.
I mean, they just wouldn't get off. And we have 30 miles we have to ride in. At some point, you just have to keep kind of pushing him. He was just getting tired of it. And we
Yeah.
couldn't get off trail. And that was a big argument. And I'm like, you don't know how deep the snow is. And we have
A sled.
two
prob-
tandem sleds we were dragging with like beds and bed frames and like all this heavy stuff we were hauling in. And
So
we
you were
just can't
heading.
afford
You
to
were
get
heading
stuck.
into the cabin.
Yeah. And our other machine was in the shop, so it wasn't like I had a machine to pull us out. We have a come along, but I'm like, this is going to be
Oh hell no! You don't want to.
an hour long day or 2 hour long day versus a 10-hour long day with
Yeah.
an angry moose. I'm like, sorry, buddy, you're just going to.
Well, and you have to imagine
pushed
too. That looked like a young bull that maybe just got like.
Oh, super
his
tiny.
mom just kicked him out that fall probably.
Oh, yeah.
You know when she was finding a new suitor, and he probably was using that
suitor.
trail like. I'm
They
not getting
all
off
do.
this fucking trail,
They
dude.
all
I
do.
can't walk in that 7 feet of snow or
Yeah.
6 feet of snow.
Well, it's a death sentence, and they know it. And that year, too, was really bad because the snow was so deep.
It looked
and
like
so
a really stressed out moose.
you look at their
Yeah.
trails, and it just looks like somebody's dragging a canoe all through the woods, because their bellies just drag through the
Yeah.
snow. And it's really sad to see. And we know putting in all our trails, they use them. And it's just something that you just face all the time with anything.
Yeah.
Well, good on him for not. I would.
And that was why I
put him
shared-
down,
that's
but
why I
it's
shared
pretty-
the video.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Because there's a lot of controversy with that, but I tried to share it from a standpoint of, we carry for protection, but you have to be able to read a situation, be comfortable with the gun that you're carrying, and be able to read an animal's behavior or know how much time you have regardless of the reaction. Like, it could have pulled a hoof up beforehand, but he just knew, he had a feeling. He's like, it's not going to happen. I'm going to wait it out.
I mean, that thing was like beyond hackled up. I mean, he's hackling and his mouth was doing this. And I mean,
nothing was working. I mean, you could fire off warning shots and he didn't care.
Yeah.
So he was just young and grumpy. But that was right after, I forget who it was, but one of the mushers that her dogs got trampled. And so that was the week prior. And
was that like a springish time?
Yeah.
So that was after a long ass winter.
I think it was March or so. Yeah, maybe.
Through. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just comes with the territory. But I mean, we're on a hunk of metal versus like a dog sled or just walking. I mean, in any other scenario, we would have shot it. But we're on a snow machine, so we're a little bit safer. He hit that front of that thing and was like, "Oh no, thank you." Just turned and ran.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite like game recipe or meal that you would be willing to share?
Jeez, you should have gave me a little more forethought.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Oh, you're gonna guess? Okay.
Porcupine chili.
Hell no.
I got built-in toothpicks.
Thank you, everyone, for laughing at that.
How about this? Something that's like a go-to. You're doing it like once a week.
Brett's favorite thing is moose spaghetti. I make that pretty often.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. I play around with all sorts of stuff. I'm blessed that I have a freezer full of just tons of different game. And so I just have fun playing with different things or whatever I'm kind of craving. But I'd like to start kind of blogging about it more, sharing a lot of those different recipes. Because I wouldn't say that I have like a go-to. I cook a lot with fish and have recipes for it that are I guess a go-to. But I don't know. I just I'm more fluent, I guess, with my cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Do you have a favorite? Like, okay, if you can only have one game species,
can only
beat
around the bush so much.
I'm a big seafood fan.
Okay.
But I mean,
nice.
I grew up with a fishing family and we have an ocean boat, and so I feel we were just kind of talking about this the other day with the girls in Mexico, and like, if you were dying, what would your last meal be?
There you go. Good question.
You know, I'm like,
straight to the truth.
A surf and turf of some sort, you know. So for me, I always lean back to something with like scallops and oysters or crab and scallops.
Nice.
Like, I'm a big scallops fan. And then you got to have a good fish paired with that. But yeah, I don't know. Shrimp. I love some Prince William Sound shrimp, some spot prawns, but
what
different
about you,
stuff.
You got something? Last meal. Let's hear it. You're dying. You went to Colorado and they told you got cancer.
Oh my god! The pool told me I had cancer and was dying.
The pool.
Like, we're gonna serve you up your last meal.
Yeah,
here.
I don't know. After having elk for my first time this year, it's like that.
Yeah, speaking of that,
it's coming your way. Elk backstrap. That was like probably some of like the most insane meat I've ever had. So
that's funny. I got you and my physical therapist promised me elk.
I'm telling you, I agree with you there. It's dang good.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
Well, I'm curious on like, because yours, you said it was sage and minty,
So,
whereas the Fognac elk,
those are Rocky Mountain, and
are different. They're not feeding on sage and, and
she shot a Rocky Mountain. You shot.
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
Sorry, Rocky Mountain, Roosevelt.
Ooh, side by side.
Yeah, well,
we'll come meet party.
Backstrap.
Ivy, come. We do host. I don't know if you told Ivy about our annual game.
In March.
Please, can I come?
Yes. It's set for March 30th.
Are you available on
March 30th? We'd love for you guys to come.
Are you kidding? That's my birthday, bro.
March 30th?
What?
That's the date.
Was it your birthday last year when we did it?
I already know what I'm going to make.
Okay. We haven't put out like the official invite, but this is your official invite.
Thanks. I'll be there.
We need a calendar sesh.
Are you out of town?
Emily party.
No, well, maybe not. I don't know. It was promised.
Look
maybe
at this calendar.
Maybe
Look
a
at you.
spring bear hunt of some kind.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Oh, that's very spring.
We'll see.
If you need a friend.
Ooh, you want to come?
She's like, I know how to skin a bear.
Are we talking about spring on snow machine or like boat spring?
In March, it'd
hike
have to be.
around.
Airplane.
You're booked.
She went full
Never
super
mind.
cover.
You're booked.
She went right to the top. Right to the top.
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
I'll be a ground rat. That's cool.
ground rat?
A ground rat.
The stuff you guys trap, do you guys harvest? I'm just trying to think like. You're not
like meat-wise?
Yeah, you're not eating wolf. You're probably not
I've
eating
eaten beaver. I've eaten lynx backstraps.
What about lynx?
They're pretty good. If
Is
you've
it
had,
white,
have you
like-
had lion at all? Mountain lion?
No, I've wanted to a lot.
People say
Big cat
I
sounds
haven't
good.
had a big cat like that, but
I hear
they
it's
say
awesome.
it's just like mountain lion and it's
Yeah.
good. Oh, that's not true. I just had mountain lion in Colorado, but yeah, for the first time. But yeah, no, it's very good. But other than that, no, we basically just use the carcasses as more bait for more traps. So everything gets used.
Yeah.
But
Do you guys get much Wolverine? I've seen some photos of Wolverine. Those are a little more rare, though, right?
yeah, well, they're a little further out, and they're kind of at the edge of our line. But a lot of the times, we just don't have as many pictures with them because they're on client weeks and they take them home.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so they kind of aim for the big four. So like lynx, wolverine, wolf, coyote.
Okay.
So that's kind of like our agenda when people come out.
Yeah.
So we go for those.
And why are they further out? Is that just where the habitat?
Well, I guess
for
further
them?
out from our cabin. I mean, they're more up in the alpine sort of area and traveling around there. So those are like easier targets.
You guys are down in the lower land, maybe like swamp wetland, and then
more
you
like-
guys are
yep.
going up into the subalpine,
Yeah, we
like
get it all.
timberline kind of stuff to go get those. Okay.
And they'll come down. They run through and stuff. But
wherever the food's at.
yeah, I mean they travel all over.
Yeah.
But targeted wise, they're kind of more on the outer edge of where we run.
You guys have game cams on your traps?
No, we used to, but
Okay.
yeah.
Just an extra damn thing, and the batteries die, and the
Yeah.
Probably more fun to just go out and
Brett's
see what
had
you
people
got.
get
steal
surprised.
them and stuff too in the past, so he just kind of quit putting them
Oh,
out.
really? That's fun.
Yeah, you put in a snow machine trail somewhere, and somebody's gonna find it eventually.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like
Sure.
anything. So
yeah.
yeah.
Sleds have come along so
She's got her calendar out.
I know. Look at her. March.
Dang.
Are you
You
in
better
March?
put it on March 30th, girl. That's
Sorry.
your actual birthday?
Yeah.
Dang.
I thought we
Okay.
had it last year on March 30th.
What are you
It
gonna
must
be?
have
No,
Yeah.
it was like April 7th.
How old
I
are
wanna
you?
say. Oh, come on, Ivy. We don't ask those kind of questions.
been. She's 32.
Yep.
That's what I was gonna say. I thought you were a year older than me.
Yep. 32.
Young
But you're friends with Dallas, so I don't know. I was like, I don't think she's as old as Dallas. I hope she hears me say that.
I'm older than Dallas.
Dallas did an awesome trip. I
Yeah.
was watching her pictures and stuff.
Which one?
It's all of her stuff she was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing some cool stuff. She's in Christmas Island right now.
Yeah, she's getting
Oh,
after
we
it.
just heard about that. Mm-hmm. Man, that sounds like a badass place to go fish.
It sure does.
We're
Someday.
Someday. Someday we have to
Are
go.
they selling that in an auction at the Sheep Banquet this year?
I don't think so. If
No,
they
no,
were,
no,
I'll be
no,
front
no,
and
no.
center.
Yeah,
Ding,
there
ding,
you
ding,
will.
ding, ding.
Ivy, plans for 2024. What is this year like looking for you?
Oh, geez. Hard to say. I think personal plans, we're going to work on foundation of our house and kind of go that route, kind of develop our land a little bit. And then,
Where the place is in Wasilla?
yeah.
Cool.
Yep. And we have a bunch of clients on deck. And then, I don't know. We have some talk of personal hunts, but we'll kind of finalize that probably after SCI. We kind of trade around with our friends and stuff. So we've had out of country hunts on the list. And yeah, we kind of had a setback this last year of just like change of direction and just our plans and everything. So we'll see.
Not
Where we go.
necessarily the traditional hunting opportunities.
No, it's funny. Maybe. I mean, I like to do Kodiak. We have our moose hunts and stuff like that. We didn't put in for any draws, and we did do a bison tag. We put in for one of those, but other than that, we didn't put in for anything. And then everything else will just be on a whim for us. It's
Yeah,
kind of
good
like,
for you.
oh, we got a couple days here till so-and-so shows up and the weather's nice. Let's run after a sheep if there are any where we like to go. And, yeah, or like, oh, Kodiak looks great. We'll hop on a plane and go down there. So it's hard to plan for the both of us in that sense. Yeah. Our wedding is this summer, so I have that I'm looking forward to.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
huge.
so I have that
Big
planning.
That's got, you
Yeah.
would say kind of a highlight.
That-
but,
Before or
Yeah.
after? Before or
Yeah,
after?
well.
Right before fishing. Right before fishing.
Cool.
Yep. And then
Up
I have
north?
some more like group stuff with
It's
girls.
in Igigak.
And, no,
On the boat.
it's in
Be on a
Soldotna.
skiff.
Yeah, your invite's in my bag, by the way. But
Love that.
you know I wouldn't come with that one. Yeah, so I don't know. We've got
Cool.
full arsenal of plans.
I love
They're
that you're
just all
doing
over
it
the place.
in Soldotna.
Yeah.
That's like,
It'll be fun.
that feels good for you.
Yeah. I was like, we are going to my home.
There you
That's
go.
where we're going to go. Yeah.
Seems
But,
like it works out that way.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys, you plan the wedding. We'll be there.
Exactly.
Like everyone wants to go fishing anyways. So
Yeah.
it has to be down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just works out.
So I don't
Awesome.
know. Things everywhere.
Well, Ivy, thanks for coming in and sharing
you,
your story
guys.
with us and a little insight on what you got going on. I mean, you got a lot going on. So thank you for taking the time to coming out here and telling us. I know our audience would be really excited for this show. Emily, thanks you for coming in and your friendship with Ivy and the connection and the mayor as well for making it
Just
happen.
Need to hang out more.
We will.
And thank you guys for being my first podcast.
Yeah.
welcome.
Crushed it.
So fun.
Crushed it.
We're so very blessed to have had your time.
Yeah, it
on
was
this,
fun.
and hopefully it'll open your mind up to accepting some other invitations when they come.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously your time is very valuable. So
You did peak early.
Everything's downhill from here.
Jeez. Yeah.
you guys are doing really cool stuff, man. Just another amazing story of a very unique and exciting, like a badass lifestyle that you and Brett are living. Obviously, we got to hear your side.
Thanks. Yeah.
You'll have to get a good word for us. Get
Yep.
his ass in
Yeah,
here.
he will.
Like, these dudes are cool. They got a cool studio. They just want to hear you tell stories. I mean, we're all about hearing stories.
Good
and,
practice for you to tell stories.
Yeah.
But no, you guys are living it and like living it.
Well, it comes with
You
its
know?
own sacrifices. So, I
For
mean,
sure.
it's fun to tell our story and how it works for us, and it doesn't work for everybody, but I hope it inspires other people, especially women, like getting back into the sport. And that was kind of my whole thing about women's strapping retreat and everything, you know, it's just get everybody back in and like, you can do this stuff,
Yeah.
you know, you don't have to go balls to the wall and live in a dry cabin, but I mean,
There's ways
find
to
your
do
happy
it.
medium.
Yeah, to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And like,
Shedding the
you know.
light.
And not
on-
everyone can buy a brand new 2024 snow machine. You know, you find your balances.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to portray a story like, oh, well, look, she has all these things. It's like, well,
That's
it's been
how
a
she
lot
does
of
it.
years. You have to pour in a lot of money, but that's our full-time gig. And so that's why it looks the way that it does. But anyone can curate like their own little world in that bubble, you know, in their own way and make it theirs.
Well, and I wanted to say thanks for showing us, the world, and even our Alaskan community, that there's still a modern trapper. Still a way to be a trapper. It's still
There has to be, or it's
still a
going to
thing.
die.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
won't
it's
exist
going
anymore.
to take folks like yourselves to promote it, and the fact that there is some self-promotion, obviously, in everything social media, but I think the bigger picture is trapping's still a thing. It's still alive. It's a tradition, and it needs to stay alive because it goes back many, many, many years, and it's tradition of humans. You know, not just Alaskans or Canadians or Russians or whatever.
Indigenous peoples.
Indigenous peoples did
I
this
didn't
for a
find
reason,
out
and-
until I became a trapper that my family were trappers first before commercial fishermen. So it was
Right.
really cool
Right.
to have that a part of my heritage. You know,
Yeah.
it's very much embedded into Alaska history as a whole.
Yeah, and who,
so it's
Yeah,
sad
well
who
said.
you are.
for that idea to die. You know, so
Yeah, you
everybody
keep doing what
keeps
you're doing.
fighting for it the same as they fight for their hunting rights here in Alaska. You know, we got
yeah.
to fight for trapping too. So
Yeah, and congratulations
Well said.
to all your success, future success. We wish you the best.
thanks, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
IVO on Instagram, BBB Alaska, check that out. Mountain Men on the History Channel.
Mountain Men, Alaska.
Yes. Well, yes,
Yep.
all that.
Yeah.
Emily, Ivy, thank you. Alaska, thank you for listening. As always,
Stay wild.
You'll remember my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
the Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Big Ray's, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Ray's has the gear you need, tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. Check out their new exclusive line of aerolic waders. Big Ray's for all your outdoor gear and rugged work attire. BigRays.com.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO.
Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include weekly lawn care, custom landscaping, fertilizing, weed control, turf repair, and more. Schedule your free estimate at lawnproak.com.
Alaska's OG cider company, Double Shovel, crafting gluten-free colonial-style ciders founded as a healthier, non-inflammatory brew option. Drop by their Pop and Tap room in Anchorage off of 58th and Arctic or visit the second location in Kodiak. Double Shovel, award-winning ciders.
Alaska Mining and Diving Supply, located in Anchorage, is our go-to for powder sleds and utility rigs. Whether you're in the mountains with the flat bill bros, running trap lines, or hauling freight, they have the selection to get you dialed from peaks to the valleys. Find them on Commercial Drive or akmining.com.
Equal in prowess and act upon the clean? I say try. If we never try, we shall never succeed. This proposition is a simple truth, and it's too important to be lost sight of for a moment. If we cannot beat the enemy where he now is, we never can. It is all easy if our troops march as well as the enemy, and it is unmanly to say they cannot do it.